City Hall in Melfort, Saskatchewan, just down the road from the Northern Lights Palace, site of the 2018 Viterra Scotties Tournament of Hearts, where Draw 7 is coming up next. Saskatchewan Championship Curling is brought to you by Viterra, SaskTel, Service Equipment, White Ice and Eastside Paint and Wallpaper, Jiffy Lube, CurlSask, and SaskTel Mats.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the Northern Lights Palace in Melfort. Normally home to the Melfort Mustangs of the SJHL, but this week home to the 2018 Viterra Scotties Provincial Women's Curling Championship. My name is Sean Joyce. I'm joined by Susan Lang and Kim Hudson.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
We're going to be featuring Amber Holland against Penny Barker here in Draw 7. The Amber Holland team off to a bit of a rough start. This is kind of a must-win for them, Kim. What do they have to do tonight?
Yeah, that's a good question. They are at 1-4. I know what they have to do tonight and the rest of the weekend, and that is that they have to run the table. We do know, though, that it can be done. It's been done in the past. Penny Barker's team.
We saw Penny do it last year.
Last year, Penny Barker with 4 losses and then got on to a great roll to claim the provincial title. However, Penny already still has 2 losses also. She's not quite in as much trouble, but it's still not secure by any stretch. I am curious to watch her. Penny and Amber go a long way back with their Moose Jaw roots. Common coach with Murph Fonger back there. Your nickname?
Father Fonger.
Everybody knows who we're talking about here. So he'll be watching both teams with keen interest here. But certainly Penny's in control here in the standings, and a big win required this evening.
And we'll keep you up to date on all of the games here in Draw 7. On Sheet 1, Chantel Eberly will be up against Candace Chisholm. On Sheet 2, Sherry Anderson is playing against Stephanie Lawton, a match of former teammates there. And on Sheet 4, it's the Nancy Martin team up against Robin Silvernagel, last year's finalist. We'll go into the standings in more detail in just a minute, but before we do that, let's meet the teams in tonight's matchup.
Hi, I'm Penny Barker, skip of Team Barker. Our lead is Danielle Sosinski, second Lorraine Schneider, third Deanna Doig, coach Murph Fonger, and we curl out of the Moose Jaw Ford Curling Center in Moose Jaw.
Hi, I'm Amber Holland. My lead is Deb Lazinski, second Laura Strong, third Sherry Singler, coach Travis Brown, and we curl out of the Regina Cali Curling Club.
And we keep looking at the standings and waiting for teams to start separate, and maybe we can tell who the top 4 teams might be, and that hasn't really happened. Everybody's still alive with only 3 round robin draws left to go. There you see it. Chantel Eberly and Robin Silvernagel at the top of the standings at 4 and 1. They certainly control their own destiny. At the bottom of the standings, Amber Holland, that we are featuring tonight, not only needs to run the table, but she's going to need a little help in bringing teams back to that 4-loss plateau to get into some tiebreakers.
Yeah, but as we said, you know what? She is not mathematically eliminated yet. Lots of games to be played.
The 2 teams had a practice session, a 9-minute practice session each before the game, and then they draw to the button to determine who's got last rock here in the first end of play. That draw to the button was won by the Barker team, so it is Deb Lazinski throwing lead stones for Amber Holland. They're throwing the red rocks, and she's getting us underway here.
Certainly our first look here at our defending provincial champion. We've had a couple of times where we've been able to pan over to their games, but this is the first time that we've seen the team with their entire game. So we've mentioned Penny with the 2 losses. Win tonight would certainly make them sleep much more comfortably and maybe start to get that little bit of a separation into the standings here.
Yeah, that's true. And we have mentioned it in the past as well that Penny Barker's team is the only team out of the 9 here that is back with her full returning team from last year. Everybody else has changes or new players. So that certainly is in her favor.
Penny's team got off to a very slow start in the Bonspiel circuit, but some of that may have been due. Penny became a new mother there in August, and that always takes a little while to rebound from, and the season starts much more earlier than what it used to in the past. So getting your Bonspiel season started at the end of September doesn't give a lot of recovery time, but once they got a couple of events under their belt, they really started to pick up speed in November and then claimed a big victory at the WCT Spiel in Morris, Manitoba.
Yeah, they did. They had a good season heading into this. Good cash Spiel season.
Sorry, I just assumed it was 10. I think I was just a little bit tight on that, but yeah. I think you had lots of rotation.
Yeah.
Hard! Skip hard! Hard, hard, hard!
Well, we get an early rollout. That's the 4th stone of the end.
I like it.
Amber Holland still looking to come into the rings. We don't see too often the team without Last Rock willing to mix it up in the first end, but we have seen a few times to get that rollout before the team with Last Rock throws. They'll put up a corner and see if they can get a cheap deuce in the first end.
We're back,
yeah, that's right. And if you do look across all the sheets, it's pretty wide open. Oh, taking a lot of chances in the first end. Get their sea legs under them.
Not be hanging around. Oh my gosh. Hot mama. Fired it. A little bit. Yeah. A little bit.
Well, that's easier on the sweepers, but here's that shot we talked about. Perhaps a chance to throw up the corner guard. Penny Barker's still going to look to come into the rings, though.
Probably in the 14-7.
Second, Lorraine Schneider. Looking to make the draw to the corner with the out turn. We're on sheet 3 again. We've had a chance for the viewers that have been watching online. I know we've seen, I think this is 5 games on this sheet. Even the 2 games that we've done so far on Sastel Max, we're both on this sheet, so we're quite familiar with it. This is the turn that will curl a little bit more.
That we do, and
she had room on the center line for that shot, didn't she? So she got about 5 feet of curl to the outside.
Yep, moving nice. This is Laura Strong throwing. Laura's originally from Newfoundland. We have seen her many times at the Scotties with her sister Heather. Wondering if she's worried about the big storm that's hitting the Maritimes right now. Better yet, I'm sure she's just happy she's in Saskatchewan.
Well, at all times that should be the case.
Exactly.
I haven't checked the Newfoundland standings yet, but her sister Heather is playing in Newfoundland Scotties playdowns there, so I'm sure they're really wishing they could meet up at the Scotties as participants. But as you mentioned, Amber Holland is going to have to find a big string of wins all in a row here for that to happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Hard! Up, right up! Hard, 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 hard! Roll it, Danielle! Good. Good job.
Makes the hit, rolls just a little bit off the center line.
9.5. 9.5. Okay. Yep. Keep it there.
2 teams here are going to continue to try to exchange hits, and we'll see Penny Barker, presumably, try to blank the end. We've seen a few things go wrong whenever we guess what the script should be.
Good?
Yeah, there's Sherry Singler throwing, longtime player with Stephanie Lawton, but now playing with Amber Holland.
And I think relishing her new role as a third, certainly a different type of engagement in the game. Learning all the things that you need to learn as a third, the line calling, the exact rock placement, how to handle a skip's moods and emotions.
I was just going to say that ought to suck up to the skip.
I was going to go a different way with it. I was wondering if we should maybe ask her how she keeps managing to get it hooked up with all these scrub skips.
Yeah. You know, when you have to learn how to say the right thing and the skip comes to the other end. Did I really throw it that bad? No, no, not so bad. Yeah, in your head you're thinking, oh my God.
I wonder, because we've talked about before the fact she's never played third or skip before. This is her very first time being in the house, and I wonder if she's learned how to do that thing where you skip asks for more ice and you jiggle the handle without moving the head of the broom at all.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a difficult skill to learn.
Or the front end's a little twisted at the skip, but then the third goes down and says, oh, the front end loves you.
I know.
You're playing great.
Nice exchange of stones here.
Yeah, great throw.
One of the things about these opening ends, when you see something like this where they're hitting up and down, the two teams, like we said, do have that practice session to begin the game. But the draw to the button for last rock has become so important that you pretty much throw nothing but draws to the middle in that practice session anymore. And one of the reasons that they like to do this is you like to know what ice you need to take in the various paths to make a hit.
Sorry, guys.
If this hangs on the corner, that would be a tougher force for Amber Holland to hit it, but it rolls out, gives her a chance to draw.
Well, into that 10-minute practice, yes, that drawing the button, but the teams that we watch on TV, their number one objective, short of getting that button, is also to match their stones. They work very, very hard to keep throwing those rocks in that same path because they are trying to determine ahead of time if they've got any issues that they need to worry about.
14-8.
I know, talking to Pat Simmons, CurlSask's high performance director, that's how they all set up their pregame practice. It's to find out and match their stones.
Wanna go? Looks nice. Time's good. Liz, 6-7. Time's good. Moving. Curling.
I guess one other recent change, it's about 3 years ago now in the rules, is that in that pregame draw to the button competition, the two teams have to pick which side they're playing. Actually, the team with the first practice picks which side they're going to play. The other team has to throw the other side to throw their draw to the button. But prior to that, the other reason that you see teams do an end like this is because one half of the sheet probably hadn't been touched in practice, and you got to break the pebble.
I thought you were surprised.
That's not so much of an issue anymore.
It doesn't work with that. Okay, so that's all. Okay.
Penny Barker with her first stone here in the first end. Probably look to hit this one on the nose. Try to keep the play in the middle so she's got a shot for the blank in the middle. You'd hate to have to throw that out in the wings for the first time all end.
But then too, just while Penny's doing this quickly, the other thing with the draw shot distance is now at a competition like this, every team member has to have done at least one of these. So during the course of
the round robins.
In the round robins.
Clarify.
But in a bonspiel, there's no such stipulation. So now all of a sudden you've got the lead throwing there for the hammer, and that can be different.
But that's one of the differences we're going to see when we go to Estevan in 4 weeks for the tankard, is that because it's a triple knockout competition, it doesn't have to be an equal distribution of throws for the team members.
Right, because your
because you may only play 3 games,
yeah, will eliminate.
Okay. Nose is fine. Okay.
And let's go back to that age-old argument. How do you feel about the triple knockout compared to this round robin?
Well, that is a good question. You should bring it up with more than 2 shots left in the end.
Yeah, it'll take a while.
Yeah, everybody's got a different opinion on that. And I guess it's the difference just in the way it feels. At least in the triple knockout, you know where you are. If you're still playing, you're still alive.
You still have
It's a good example here with Amber Holland, and we've talked about it already. She not only needs to run the table, but she's going to need some help. She doesn't exactly control her own fate anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas in a triple, you always know if we're still winning, we're still playing.
Yeah, if we're still playing, we still have a chance.
Well, in a triple knockout, we would only have 4 teams left right about now, as we have 5 teams at 3 losses or more.
I still think that triple knockout was very good at getting your best rep out.
I do prefer this 9-team round robin to the 2 6-team pools that we had. The 6 teams just didn't seem to be enough time to for the teams to really separate themselves.
Yeah, with that triple, you'd end up having usually your top 2 or 3 teams meeting 2 or 3 times over the course of the weekend.
And with the rollout, we do have a blank end here in the first. Penny Barker will keep last rock into end number 2.
As Canada's grain industry leader, Viterra and its employees are connected to their communities across Western Canada. Through its community investment program, Viterra supports a wide variety of causes and initiatives, including those focused on sports and recreation that encourage teamwork, integrity, and high performance. These same values guide Viterra's employees when providing farm customers with trusted advice and quality service. Viterra is a proud sponsor of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
All right, people, let's get to work. Lights off.
Ma'am, there's someone at the door. Unknown male, might be a salesman.
Take care of it. You, drop the temperature. I'm roasting.
Ma'am, your straightening iron. Shall I pull the plug?
Yes. While you're at it, leave room for milk.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, all of these games here in Draw 7, very important to the teams involved. Everybody's still alive. Some teams are in a must-win situation. We're going to keep you up to date on all of them, and Susan's got an update for us.
Very open end in this game to start with. Chantel Eberly with the wide open blank for 0-0 score in the second end.
Over on sheet 2, we've got the 2 former teammates playing against each other. Sherry Anderson against Stephanie Lawton. Even though it wasn't open first end, there was a miss from the Lawton team, and the Anderson team held a deuce for quite a few shots. Sherry made a nice hit and stick for 2 points, so 2-0 Anderson over Lawton.
Nothing terribly exciting in our feature game here for the opening end. Pretty straightforward. Opening blank for Penny Barker.
And over on sheet 4, it was an open end with Martin, who is now being skipped by Taryn Schachtal, because we know that Nancy is off playing at the mixed doubles. And she took her 1 point with Hammer, and the score over there, 1-0, Martin versus Silvernagel.
So the first stone here brought into the back of the 8-foot, deeper than they would have liked. Penny Barker's going to look for the corner guard, and she might have done this even if that rock had stayed in the top of the house, but certainly with it sliding to the back.
Yeah,
nothing to think about.
4, probably in. It's coming down, but we're probably in. Might be okay. No, we're in. Are you in? 4 or 5? We're in.
Going back to that triple where I said your top 2 or 3 teams ended up playing each other over the course of the weekend, this field seems so evenly matched that for what we have happening here this week, this is probably her best draw.
I picked on you a couple of times, Kim, so I'll preview this by saying I'm not picking on you, but it's been a few years since you've played in this competition.
That's true.
And I don't actually remember how long that 2 pool of 6 teams format was in place. Did you ever play in that format?
No, I did not.
So was it a triple the last time you played?
No, it was round robin many times for a long time.
Susan, I know you played in the 2 pools of 6. How did you like them as a player?
Oh, you didn't. I mean, especially when you were on the side of the pool that had 2 losses and you were eliminated, and the other side had 3 losses and they were still alive. That was always a bit of a stickler, but as you had said, it's just not a lot of time to get things going. It's great if you won, but we didn't, so I don't like it.
Well, if I was going to pick which draw I liked based on which one I won, I wouldn't like any of them.
Right to it. We'll sit nice there.
Well, now that we're into the second end, we can see rocks in play across all 4 sheets. So here we go.
The plan was to have a few more rocks in play this end, but both leads opening stones slid deeper than intended. Laura Strong looking to make a hit here. She needs the nose to be in the rings. Now they're trying to pick it over the top of their own. That was a plan B called when they realized they weren't getting to the nose and they didn't want to jam it on their own. Penny Penny Barker, a little change of gears here. She'd
Yeah.
like to get a cheap deuce if she can, so not going to play a hit on that back stone, not going to play the corner guard, but she will play the freeze. Try to force Amber Holland to blast it out, and if she happens to leave it hanging on somewhere back there, she'll try to get her deuce that way. First of all, have to make the freeze, and you hear her saying it's got to go for line. This might over curl the rock at the back.
Hard, keep going.
Boy, if it doesn't make contact, yeah, they will hold it well enough to make contact. It would have almost been through the back.
9.5, I think.
There is room to make a play on it.
Right through? Yeah.
That weight call, do you think she's trying to stick around or just straight peel it out for now?
9.5 is pretty firm. I have a feeling it will.
Just 9.5.
She's happy to roll out.
Gotta go. Really hard.
Or pick them both. Take the back one with her on her way by.
This one's really curling. She'll be fortunate not to stuff it. Amber would have had the stopwatch going. I know she always does, so I heard her say not bad weight. It was the weight they were looking for, but a little more curl than they expected. And again, that has been the turn that we've seen curl a little bit more on this sheet. The turn Penny Barker now is calling for Lorraine Schneider has been the straighter side. And not to say that it's straight by any means. They could still get 3.5 to 4 feet to the middle, but they seem to have to wait for it longer.
Yeah.
And the hits will run.
Nice shot.
Makes the nose hit.
Amber just playing the hit and roll on top. Playing the double should lose her shooters, so.
Well, the ice has been very consistent, sheet to sheet, weight, line, all that type of thing. But both teams have played on this sheet of ice. But, you know, Amber hasn't played on this sheet since Tuesday night at 7:30. Penny just came off of this a couple of games ago. So there always are changes as the week does go on. And it might just take a couple of ends to figure out where to get the broom exactly.
And the other thing that might be an issue there is I know Amber had the Yellowstones when she played on this sheet previously, because she was the first one that we heard solidly identify that the 8 stone curled a little bit more, and she was trying to use it to her advantage. She would specifically throw it when she wanted some finish. Now, we heard somebody talking this afternoon, for those of you who were with us, about the 7 and 8 in red. They mixed, they changed the order. I can't remember. I think it was second stones were throwing it, and they were thinking one curled more than the other. That was Lawton's team that was throwing it.
Yeah, that's all part of the game. Trying to find your matching rocks and moving them around.
Well, and trying to use them to your advantage.
Absolutely.
Exactly, as Amber did. If you've got a rock that curls a little bit more, you just use it on a particular type of shot. You use it when you need some finish.
Just freezing. Freeze it. Hard.
Well, Penny Barker was looking to try to get a fairly risk-free deuce, and with a solidly locked-on freeze there, she seems to be well set up for it.
Yeah, for sure. Nice freeze there.
Little less.
Sherry Singler with her out-turn hit, trying to make a play on shot rock. They were hoping to roll towards the 2 on the left-hand side as we look at it now, but it rolls just to the other side of center. It is shot rock.
Good throw. All right, nice throw here, Dee.
Penny Barker with that nice freeze right in the bottom of the screen there. She's got her deuce set up. She just needs to exchange stones on this shot rock for 3 more rocks, and she's good.
Little firm, Danielle.
And they've called the offside sweep to get some curl here, so this might have been a little full.
Hard.
Oh,
And she slides right by.
Not what you
Oh
wanted.
my. Well, yeah, even if she just picks that out, Amber's got a tough time removing this stone.
Can you hit that? It probably goes under, but I'm rolling out.
I don't think so.
So anywhere.
Like if you just nose it?
I can't go there. Can we just draw to it, crease it? I think I got a 14-7 on Deanna. It's not the end of the world, right? Yeah, she can do the double, so jam. Yeah. Probably there. Okay.
To stop?
Sorry?
I thought I got like a 14-4, but at the hog you got 14-7?
Yeah.
Well, you heard that. It's
14-5 then, right?
almost impossible
Which one do you
to
think
move
you
that.
want?
So Amber's just going to draw
Yeah, I
down to it.
think so.
Most importantly, she just needs to get second shot. She doesn't need to make the freeze.
Do you
she
want
just
7? Okay.
wants to be sitting 1 and 2, and she's done.
Just be second shot, right?
Yeah.
And interesting, I heard them asking her whether she wanted the 7 or the 8. Now she is still throwing 7 and 8, but they already have identified a difference in the two stones.
You betcha.
Yeah.
14-8 then?
Yeah.
And this is just a team's preference, whereas the team this afternoon chose to give them to another player. Amber prefers to use the difference between those two stones.
Yeah, manage them instead.
But Amber's one of these players that just has such phenomenal control of her delivery and weight that she knows precisely what she is doing and can make all those necessary adjustments.
Just don't
Right after you say this, she's perhaps thrown this rock right to the hacks.
Well, it has to be second shot, so it doesn't matter. Good point. Okay.
And it does stop just in time to be second shot.
See, that's phenomenal control of your weight.
Well, it was supposed to be in front of the yellow.
Details.
Like we can't double run
We could roll off of this one.
Okay.
She probably just plays the same thing. I think we have to hit this one. So.
Yeah. I like
Just a
throwing
little
like a 9.
Okay.
Yeah. Up a little bit.
Like 80 can be a 9.
Okay.
Set it like 4/5.
Yeah.
Just because we need flat roll, but I don't know.
Well, Penny's making a play on shot rock. I heard her say something about the flat roll. Is she trying the double? I'm not sure if it's there.
Roll over. If we can touch it
pretty
over a bit,
flat.
that'd be great. Okay.
Having said that, she doesn't really need to make the double. She only needs to move it an inch or two, but
Just trying to get it over there into the range even.
That's exactly. I'd be just worried about roll over there and try to get them grouped for a double on your last one.
A little less.
If you ever try the double here and roll under that rock, Amber has a chance to split the house and you're forced.
Whoa! No!
This is running. So they go to the offside sweep, trying to get some extra curl. Makes the hit, and it does roll under that stone.
and exactly
Still
as you
Amber
said,
Holland sitting 1.
split the rings to
Just get across the line a bit.
Yeah, even a nose hit on that one wouldn't have been bad, because definitely you would have had a chance at a double on your next one.
Did I get a flat 14 on that?
Amber's first one?
14.
Oh, that was a 14.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we like here? 8, 35 still? Okay.
So we're hearing the same draw numbers that we've heard most of the week.
That's right,
14 and a half.
14 to the back of the house with
Yep.
no sweep is like 15 T-line with some sweep.
So,
Same. It'll be the same here. Better still.
Amber Holland looking to split the rings here and try to force Penny Barker into taking a single point and giving the hammer back. Nothing out of the brushes early. They're starting to clean now.
It's 6.
Line's curling.
They were hoping to get this across the center. It's taking its time coming across now, really starting to curl.
Really busting. Yep. Come on. Go.
That works.
She brings it right into the top of the 8 foot.
Yeah.
And that's one thing we have seen a few times. Amber Holland puts that draw almost exactly where she tapped the ice before she went to the other end.
What were you saying, Susan?
About the control?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
My new friend. But again, just a teeny little detail there, but Sherry Singler insisting on the sweep right to the very, very end there. But you know, if that rock stops, once it's shot rock and stops even a little bit higher, Penny's got a decision to make because now she can't nose hit and get shot.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think that's kind of that in-the-house experience that comes into play.
Queen, yep. Hard! Straight up!
Right to it.
Penny Barker looking for the nose hit for her single point. She'll roll over to the center line. She does pick up the single, and Amber Holland will have last rock for the first time in end number 3.
White Ice, the ice paint people, set out to develop a very specific ice paint product that would satisfy the needs of the professional ice maker in both hockey and curling. White Ice was successfully formulated and tested, and distribution began in 1988 and has since expanded their line of products and services to meet the needs of today's professional ice makers. White Ice is distributed by Eastside Paint and Wallpaper in Saskatoon, who is also a signature Benjamin Moore paint dealer. White Ice and Eastside Paint and Wallpaper, defining the game.
Awesome.
Not better. Yeah. Could be better.
Want to try it and have some fun? Hurry hard to your local curling center or visit CurlSask.ca to find a curling center near you.
Welcome back, everyone. All the games here in Draw 7, very important. All the teams involved. Nobody's been eliminated yet. We'll keep you up to date on all of them, and Susan and Kim have another update for you.
Based on a nice little hit and roll by Christy Gamble that the Chisholm team couldn't chip out, turned out that Chantal Eberly had a nose hit for the 2 points, take a 2-0 lead in a game that's very important to determine who might be leading the standings at the end of the evening.
Over on sheet 2, Anderson Lawton, both of these teams coming into this with 3 losses. Anderson 2-3, Lawton at 3-3. Sherry's team had 3 rocks in the rings. Stephanie had a draw to the forefoot for 1 point, which she made. Make the score 2-1, Anderson versus Lawton.
Penny Barker forced to take the single point there with a nose hit, which he made for a 1-0 lead. And as we have already mentioned, Barker has the 2 losses and Amber Holland has 4, so critical must-win for Amber to keep any hopes alive.
And over on sheet 4, also one of our leaders, we have the Silvernagel team at 4-1, and they stole a point in the second end. I did see that Taryn had a shot, a double for multiple, but she hit it on the wrong side, gave up a steal of 1, so 2-0, Silvernagel over Martin.
Thank you very much, ladies. Well, we had the corner guard thrown up to start, or pardon me, the rock went into the top forefoot to start the end, then the corner guard. Now you see the center guard just put in place to protect shot rock, and Debbie Lazinski's going to be asked to try to come around and maybe tap that back. Her final stone here.
You have tons of room.
Just 7, 8, 8.
You have tons of room.
You can wait. You can wait.
8.
No, wait back 12.
We talked a little bit at the start of the game about the fact that Amber Holland needs to run the table and get some help with 4. The math of this draw suggests that more times than not, 3 losses is going to get you something. At least a tiebreaker. It might get you into the playoffs free and clear.
Yep.
Every once in a while, it might not get you anything, but most of the time, 3 will get you something. And we've got quite a few teams still sitting at that 2 and 3 loss plateau. The 3 loss teams don't want to lose anymore. And really, the 2 loss teams would like to stay out of the possible tiebreaker mess.
Well, that's why you know that the winner of sheet 2, Sherry Anderson and Stephanie Lawton, with their 3 losses, are really, really hoping for a Chisholm-Barker combination of losses to bring them back to the 3. So while important to focus on your own game, you're always every once in a while just taking a little peek, hoping that maybe your compadres out there are giving you a bit of a hand.
10.
Amber Holland with the first chance at last rock here.
10.
She's not probably as worried about that stone on the corner of the 4-foot. She might be able to use it with a freeze or something later on, but she has to make a play on that one in the middle first.
Sherry, whatever you got, Sherry.
Makes the hit, rolls over, in behind cover. It is second shot. But if she can play the whole end away from the center line like that, boy, and there's a good look at it from that angle, she might be able to make the port and play the red onto the yellow. Wouldn't necessarily do it right away anyway, but Penny Barker's going to have to be careful this end. Some rocks starting to pile up on the side.
Stay close. Gotta go a little bit. Guys, I feel like it's on there. Line's good. Line's really good. Line's good. Line's really good. Sliding. Sliding. Kent. We're top 4.
Starting to dig.
Top 4.
Starting to dig.
Top 4.
Doesn't want to get it past that red one because now that's going to, oh, that went really deep.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, that is
nice
not what she had in mind at all.
No, big advantage here for Amber now.
Double peel.
Do you need the double peel or do you just take the one? That corner guard's not hurting you.
Yeah, the corner guard's not doing anything.
Yeah. Yeah, true. It's wide open. Does she know that, though?
I don't know if she does. No.
You know the red's wide open, though, for me?
Yeah, it's. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
No, let's see, like, you can go here, but then.
No, I like it. I like it. Hey.
Yeah, it looks juicy through the hole, but that's okay. Do this.
Sometimes things from the hack is a better view and looks better than it does from the other end.
Yeah,
well, I
gotta
think the issue
gotta
is
go. Really
what
hard.
happens if you just feather tick the outside red one. That doesn't do
Really
you any good at all.
Absolutely.
Sherry.
That's not what they had in mind by any stretch. That came up to the nose and picked their own out.
Top 8, just top 8.
So I think
Yep, bit of work left to be done here by the Holland team.
Well, a whole bunch of work now.
It's type of one of those. That's probably the one shot that if Amber, if you asked her, how did your week go here in Melfort, you could probably point to something like that and say, picture's worth 1,000 words.
Yep. Yeah, it hasn't been easy for them.
We're there right now.
But again, conversely for Penny, sometimes you just need your opposition to help you out with things like that. They're potentially in a lot of trouble to give up a serious end there. And when something out of your control works out really well in your favor, those are the breaks that can leave you standing in the playoffs on the weekend.
Absolutely. Welcome to curling. And the other cliche is you got to be good to be lucky, but lucky you'd be good.
Well, you might as well do the long run.
We know how it's done now. We've seen it.
Do it again.
Deal.
Well, and Sherry Singler's played a few of these in her career. This is getting back to the roots of her second play.
Yeah, I've also seen her make a lot of them too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
This just has to come up a little bit.
Looking for the nose hit. She makes all three of them move, kills one, and gets everything out from behind cover.
Now, what a fabulous shot.
Can I touch it? Just a little bit. Doesn't matter.
Well, we've sort of seen this camera shot before where Sherry Singler makes a shot like that. We put the camera on her, and she's standing there like, yeah, what about it?
No big deal. It was a good shot. It could have worked out a little bit better, but still
that
a very
rock,
good shot.
Yeah, that rock sitting in the top corner of the 4-foot, like, gee whiz.
Yeah.
But it's open. That's the thing. Like,
no, I know. It's a good shot.
Out here still.
She got the two rocks that got left in play are both out in the open now.
Yeah. I know, left third shot. You've got backing at the back of the 8-foot on second shot.
You're a tough scorekeeper over there, Mrs. Hudson.
You betcha.
That's, I don't think you
3
could
out of
have
4.
made
No, I'm kidding.
Well, back in the day, they used to give bonus points on big shots like that, but somebody might have scored that 5 out of 4. They stopped that practice a few years ago, but that certainly would have been worthy of a 5 out of 4.
Yeah, that was a very good shot.
Okay, leave it high, leave it high. Really nice.
Okay, good speed. I think that's okay too.
Now do it again.
You sure? I think it's still like peeled. Sounds good.
Here we go.
A little pressure on here for Sherry Singler because we know that Kim Hudson's not going to give her 4 out of 4 unless she makes the triple. And it is there.
Yep, it sure is.
Yep. Clean. Jump. Yep.
1, 2.
Go, go!
Oh, she stuffed the last one, and you're not going to be happy with that at all, are you?
Could have been better. Great shooting by Sherry. How does that change things around?
Well, the WCT curling system allows for degree of difficulty in shots, and I really don't know what the number is, that if you've got the highest degree of difficulty, but that one would have been assigned that one. I'll have to look that up. I've never used that system before, but it helps to show, you know, if you had open shots all game and a great score, or if you were in doing great shots like that.
Exactly. The way they keep track of those percentages has really evolved, and they've done a good job with that.
A little more weight. Hold it.
Penny Barker with her first stone here in end number 3. Looking for the come around. Trying to come around the 2 red stones at the top of the rings. One just full 12, the other one just outside. She's got to bury a piece, doesn't want to leave a double again. Boy, that's coming nice at the end. She's going to bring that right into the top corner of the button. And
nice weight.
Oh, if it's not completely buried, it's close.
For second. Yeah. You know, I'm going to kind of run back on my last one. And like,
well, the other thing too.
I probably can get enough to try to tap it, right? Like come by just to tap to here, find tight and tick off.
Yeah. She might make a play and
just a tough shot on my next one too.
Well, we always have that one to use over there.
Yeah. What do you guys like?
What's your gut? Because if we're
like, she was by that a lot. Yeah. Right? So I think
they asked what they like, so Laura Strong's going to take a closer look at it.
Okay.
And go back to the other end.
Yeah. My initial thought was, and I always used to just drove me nuts
do
as a skip. You call down to the other end and ask what they like, and they don't say anything. That's usually a bad sign.
You got nothing.
Yeah. Okay. But again, that's one of those skills that you have to learn out here is resiliency. When you're seeing big shots made against you like that, and for Penny to have the composure to come back and plan to rock back on the button after they've just seen those 2 spectacular Sherry Singler's shots, you have to, as a curler at this level, get very used to those shots being made against you.
Absolutely. And when a good one is made against you, you have to make one better.
And sometimes that's a very difficult skill to learn.
Line's good.
Easier said than done.
Just to it. Yep, then. Okay. Yep, yep. Hard. 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 Okay, chip off, chip. Yep. 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 Yep, yep.
Bounces off, so maybe can be used.
Maybe just a little light on that as well.
It's right, guys. Not right to it,
I don't know that she would have had enough to move
I
it.
think it's okay if you're right to it, but yeah.
And looks like Penny's going to keep the pressure on and say,
I don't mind getting
let's
around
come right in again, throw the same shot again.
Yeah, those stagger guards.
Yeah, that's
Sitting
that's
two,
like a hair
you
less.
know, no really great shot for Amber. Even if she just went to go shoot right now, she's
Yeah.
probably just getting the one.
I'll throw less. It'll come. Okay. Take a little more. Yeah.
You don't think this would be a routine shot for one for Amber?
All right.
But these are the shots too that
Where would you like this one?
these are the ones that can really, really put the pressure on your opposition. You know, you're not in huge trouble right now, but it's making sure that you could really sink them here with a tremendous shot. But you know, you're not the guarding for your life where you're really zoned in. But these are the ones that really get the momentum going.
Yep. Well, Penny makes this, there will be a fair bit of pressure. Because whatever is left is not going to be easy.
Yeah, Lorraine. Yep, Lorraine. Yep. Gotta go
I
for
was
Wade.
thinking if she could put this right on the corner and not what she's called.
Yep.
There might not be a shot for Amber to score at all. She might have to just try to hold her to a steal of one.
Yep.
Hard. Lorraine, go two. Go two. Yeah, period. Right here. Come on. Hard. Yeah,
Wow, great, great, great sweep.
Yeah, nicely done.
Tucks it around. They did use the offside sweep to try to make it curl, and they may have made it over curl a little bit. There will be a shot to score there. It's.
Oh, I don't
I'm
know.
glad
Look
Amber
at
has
that
to throw it.
angle.
She's got the angle tap in, but if she makes the corner freeze, that doesn't get you a point either.
Yeah, yeah.
Good, you got it. The other option is the draw.
Penny's going
Yeah.
away. Or
Yeah.
Sherry's going, okay.
I'm with you, Sherry. I don't see it either.
Can I wait?
10. Hit half a rock.
Yeah. There we go.
There you go. That's easy. Just hit half a rock.
So mission accomplished for Penny. She's certainly changed Amber's shot here on this last one, and it's looking at three, and it's not straightforward. Very precise shot required.
10.
Yep. Oh. Yep. Yep. Hard.
They were on the sweep early. She's got to hit this well on the outside to jam it into that stone on the button area. If she's too close to the nose, she'll drive it by, and it's a steal of three. And that's what happened. A big steal of three for Penny Barker. She will take a 4-0 lead. Amber Holland will retain last rock for end number 4.
Introducing the all-new heated cab for the John Deere 1R tractor. Simply captivating.
When you need to hurry, you can count on Team Jiffy Lube. With fast, warranty-approved service while you wait. Jiffy Lube, your oil change experts.
Welcome back, everyone. Once again, we'll continue to keep you updated on all these scores. Susan and Kim have that update for us once again.
Lots of rocks in play in the third and quite a few around the middle, but after some precision hitting by Christy Gamble and Chantel Eberly, Candace Chisholm was looking at 2 Eberly stones on her last one, but hit and stuck for the single point. Now 2-1 playing the fourth end for Chantel Eberly.
Over on sheet 2, it was a very nice last rock shot by Sherry Anderson, a nice quiet come around tap for a big 3 points. So 5-1 Anderson Lawton, sheet 2.
Well, we saw where Amber Holland attempted to do an angle raise takeout on a rock of hers. Fourth shot in the top corner of the 12-foot. It over curled by about an inch, went by everything for a steal of 3 for Penny Barker and a 4-0 lead.
And over on sheet 4, excuse me, third end was blank. And right now we are into the fourth end and a lot of rocks in place, so it's going to get interesting over there. Score right now is 2-0 Silver Martin.
So spinner.
So in our feature game, the first stone brought into the top of the 4-foot. And now the corner guard being asked for from Deb Lasinski. And with that first stone being in a spot that we like to call anything in the top 4-foot touching that center line, that might be a stealable position.
So lead
Danielle
Danielle.
Sasinski is going to look to guard that.
Sasinski, avid curling fan. She's been to the Travelers a couple of times. That the way the parameters all work there for a couple of years, she was eligible and took some of her Moose Jaw friends there, and off they went. So Danielle just absolutely loves to curl and is actually the manager at the Moose Jaw Curling Club. Just can't get enough.
Like a back four. What did she ask for?
Danielle's fabulous out there. She is just as interested in growing the sport and making sure that kids are participating, adults are having fun. She does a ton of work over and above what the position calls for in Moose Jaw to make sure that there are clinics and leagues and instructors brought in for people, and is passionate about the sport all the way around.
Yeah, that's what's fantastic is you have to give back to this game or you're going to see it decline.
Debbie Lasinski with her final stone here in the fourth end, looking to come down, tap that stone behind the tee line, makes a great shot there. Let me ask you, ladies. Yes, that stone was in a stealable position, but are you surprised at all with a 4-0 lead that Penny Barker opted to guard it?
No.
I just looked over at Susan because I knew she'd say that.
I've played with Penny for many years, and no, I am not surprised whatsoever. Yeah, you could peel. You're exactly right. Lots of times that call would have come down from the far end.
Willing to peel now, then why did you throw it?
Like it's the fourth end.
And that's just it. You know, it is early.
It's 4-0. You didn't need a guard. You could have brought another one into the rings.
I definitely agree with all that. I'm just trying to help Penny out here, saying it's only the fourth end. There's a long game to play. It's been working so far.
Hold it. Okay, line's okay. Line's good. We don't wait. We're to it. No, we're just above it. Diana, hold it. Yep. Hard. Keep it going. Hard. We're not in. Sorry.
Well, they were looking to come down to that redstone. Now they've got another guard. Amber Holland's got to be happy. She's got all kinds of rocks to work with, and a lot of times when you're down 4-0, you've really got to work hard to get anything going.
Okay, Laura, right to it. Here we go.
Now she doesn't necessarily like the positioning of that stone, so she's got to play bumper weight, though. She doesn't want to lose the shooter. She wants it to roll for a corner guard. And I didn't see her indicate. Is she looking to maybe put this onto the outside of the red and push it back in shot rock too, or just drive it straight by?
Yeah, I think it was just the roll to the corner.
Well, she may not make contact at all, though, again. And
Oh, Laura having a bit of a struggle out there tonight.
I was just thinking the same thing. Laura's struggling with this game, and she's not the only one out there. And not talking about our sheet, Stephanie Lawton, we saw the update. She's fallen behind again, and they had a rough one this afternoon as well.
Yeah, they did. You know, Steph hasn't had easy shots over there either again. Always seems to be in a bit of trouble.
Do you want me to take it back? No, you're okay. No, do you want me to take it back?
And this rock is well out there.
Come down. It's coming down now.
Lots of room by the guard. She's going to bury a piece.
Hard.
Just rubs off that stone a little bit and sits behind the tee line.
So I just thought it wasn't going to fly far.
I think probably just here.
Okay.
Just enough to get it through. Okay, you got it.
line.
Yep. Please, good.
Hard.
Line.
Hard.
Line.
Really hard.
Hard. Whoa.
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 And Laura Strong's struggles continue.
Apparently that's what we should have called on her first one.
Yeah, I think so.
She called line, but that weight might have been a little light too. Just a bit, but
It's not a bad result for them, as misses go certainly a much better result than the first one. You got another rock into the rings out of it.
Yeah, and opened it up a bit.
Wait's close. Wait's there. Close.
Line's
Lorraine,
good.
stay on the end.
Line's good.
Line's good. Lorraine, yep, yep. We're all there. Yes, gotta go hard. Hard. Just T-line. Hard.
Hard.
Okay, well.
Yes.
There you go, go for weight. Go, go. Hard, 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 hard. Hard. Hard, hard, hard.
Right to it. Okay, that's good.
Canadoy comes right down into the top of the forefoot. Is Barker sitting 3 right now?
I think you just play the double and roll out. Yeah. Okay.
Just another routine double for Sherry Singler. At least it's not a 20-foot run back.
I don't see any way she can get all 3 of them moving this time.
No, it's
Not even
there.
Sherry.
Good. Line. Clean. No. No.
This needs to come up a little bit. It's close.
Clean? Clean? No, sorry, no clean.
Keep going, Amber.
Another good shot by Sherry Singler.
Gets the 2 of them moving, and those are the 2 that were behind cover. The one remaining shot stone is wide open now.
Okay.
Weight's nice. Little more. Little more weight. Okay, whoa.
Whoa, there,
Sorry.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Little further out though.
It'll move.
It'll coming down now. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. We're way out there. Whoa. Top, leave it high. It's fine. Top 8. Top 4. Go top 8.
Wanted to bring this stone into the top of the forefoot, but only if it's going to bury a piece. They had to wait too long for the line.
There's the break Amber's been waiting for.
Provides some cover for the shot stone, but there might be room to make the double and the roll.
Yeah, it looks to me like you can.
We're trying to get the double or no?
Yeah, yes. Roll's most important, but yeah, you can get that on the way by. Okay. But 10. Okay.
I don't think there's any way you don't get the double if you make the roll. If you miss the double, you're probably rolling too far.
Nine, 8. 9, 5. 9, 5. No.
A little more weight than what they were initially calling for. It's going to have to curl a bit. It's close. She gets just enough curl to get a bit of a flop underneath. Stuffs the second stone, but it is now the Amber Holland stone at the top of the forefoot sitting shot rock.
And bumped it open.
That was a very nice shot. Again, a couple of great shots by Sherry Singler. Just thinking back to your earlier comment, Sean. I think Penny wish she would have killed the guard now.
I still don't know why she threw it.
I think you're just kind of jamming it in.
The only thing I've been able to come up with in the back of my mind, because she did look to peel it on the next shot, is that she forgot that the score was 4-0 when she called it. You did see that first stone in a great spot, and she was thinking, oh, we could steal here. But the scoreboard says you don't need to.
Like this kind of Christmas tree.
Penny has a degree in actuarial sciences. She doesn't forget anything.
All right, nice board weight.
That's more.
In what kind of sciences?
Actuarial is just some super mathematics. I don't know. She's just a brainiac. Is just phenomenally talented, gifted mathematician.
Little tight.
Whoa.
Yes. Whoa, whoa.
Little firm.
No, Danielle, if anything. Danielle, go! Hard, Danielle, hard! Hard, really hard!
Trying to sweep that rock to get a little extra curl. Gets enough to jam it onto that stone, which makes the yellow shot rock again. But that yellow stone at the edge of the 8-foot is wide open.
There. Okay. Wow, you go under and she just sucks one in.
Yep. No, I'm with you.
10.
Okay, looks good. Let's do it.
For Amber Holland, just try to make the hit here, perhaps roll an inch or two to the outside, and then hope to exchange rocks for her deuce here in the 4th end.
10. No, that's good.
No?
To get on the board and maybe stop the bleeding a little bit.
Ten?
Yep.
We've good?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes!
They were on this right out of her hand.
Yeah, they sure were.
This is really curling. They're going to have to go hard just to get a piece. Does just clip it. And have to push it out of the rings.
Yeah, I think so.
So it is Amber Holland sitting shot rock at the top of the 8-foot. And that stone is under cover, so Penny Barker will have a chance to draw around.
It's kind of starting to die a little in the middle.
I just think that you gotta believe that we can get by that by 2 feet and still be fine.
Yeah.
As long as we're buried.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I just think for sweeping like purposes.
I know that's where you just kick yourself when you're the skip that you finally get an opportunity to get a bit of an end built up and then
Let it slip
just
away.
can't quite deliver.
You have to take some consolation in the fact that even if you hit that, stay right there, barring something totally unexpected, all you're going to be doing is shooting for 2 anyway. I don't think there's any place she can put this. I don't think there's any place Penny Barker can put this with the curl we've seen on this ice, that you can't move it back to the back 12-foot and get 2.
Right. If you're going to have a half shot, that was probably the time for it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We can wait.
Good way to, better way to phrase it.
We can wait.
Stay close.
Line's nice.
Lots of room.
Coming down.
Lots of room. Danielle, if anything.
We're back. We're back.
Just watch it in here now.
Back 8.
Oh, then
A lot of room by the guard, and the rusher's indicating this is deep already. Definitely wants to make sure she stops for shot rock.
Go now. Yep. Hard. Go, go, go. Go, go, go.
Why that came down in a hurry. It does stop for shot. Back 4-foot. Probably still a piece of it open.
So that back 12 that Deb had is about the same line.
Hers came down.
Yeah. But I think that's
Amber
the
can
line,
follow
right?
it down, punch it back, hope to get her 2 points.
She only needs to move it about 2 feet.
And again, you learn something from every shot. We heard Amber reference Deb's back 12 shot, and that might not have been the shot that was called at the time, but you still file it away. You see where the rock came out, where did it end up, and then you bring it into play. Here we are, 8 rocks later, or 7, I guess, but
14-8 to T.
Yep.
Well, it is a big shot, though, for Amber Holland with her final stone here in end number 4. Already trailing 4-0. An opportunity to perhaps get 2 points back here in what is a must-win game for her. Well, they backed away from that a little bit, and the line really starting to go now. Will they get it by? They do. And she does have the weight to tap it back. That's a great shot by Amber Holland. Put 2 points on the board. She now trails by a score of 4-2. Penny Barker will have last rock in the 5th.
Nice throw, Amber.
Like to make the deuce
Your weight
stop.
was good.
As Canada's grain industry leader, Viterra and its employees are connected to their communities across Western Canada. Through its community investment program, Viterra supports a wide variety of causes and initiatives, including those focused on sports and recreation that encourage teamwork, integrity, and high performance. These same values guide Viterra's employees when providing farm customers with trusted advice and quality service. Viterra is a proud sponsor of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Take your Share More plan with you. and enjoy worry-free data in the U.S. The all-new Share More Canada and U.S. plan, now available from SaskTel.
Welcome back, everyone. We've got a few more scores to report. Susan and Kim have all the details for you.
It looked like Candace Chisholm was setting up for a very nice steal in the fourth end. Was trying to position a rock in the full 8-foot, staggered around another guard, a long guard. So she had to bring it in tight to cover her rock on the button. Chantal Eberly chased it with just light bump weight hit. Just gets by the guard, nails the guard, clips off the rock off the button for a big shot of 2 points, 4-1 lead.
Over on sheet 2, it's Anderson versus Lawton. Anderson has the big lead. Stephanie made a nice shot for her 1 point. Score there now is 5-2, Anderson versus Lawton, but Anderson has the hammer back.
A nice two-ender here by Amber Holland with a very fine last finishing shot here to stay in the game and only 2 points down. 4-2, playing 5.
And a bit of tough luck over on sheet 4. It was Martin versus Silvernagle. And Taryn had a really nice chance at a double and a multiple again, and barely feathered a rock and gave up a steal of 2. So it's now 4-0 Silvernagle Martin.
That's 2 final throws for Taryn that she's just touched guards that I think if you were on the ice, you couldn't even hear contact.
No, you're exactly right. That was a paper one that she just feathered there too.
And anytime you look over, it's a lot of red Martin rocks in play. They have been taking it to the Silvernagle team this evening. The scoreboard doesn't really show how well the Martin team is playing.
Hard, you got it, hard! Hard, keep going, hard! 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 Hard!
Well, the first stone thrown by Deb Lazinski was that tight guard. Then you see the come-around attempt. And
I think I like the long one.
I was thinking as that stone was coming in that perhaps they should have got off the sweep, tap it so it's biting, and then they could have hit it on the next one. As it is now a chance for Deb to throw the long guard.
Don't have a ton on that. You judge, though. You judge.
Yeah, and these are we've discussed this as well, these long guards are hard to throw on keen ice.
One of the things that helps her out a bit on this one, though, is she got that first guard so tight that she's got lots of room where she could put this and still get max separation.
Yeah.
You can't draw it up much better than that. Did overcurl just a hair, but boy, there's a lot of space between those two.
Yeah, nicely done by Deb.
Same on this side.
I haven't really thrown one this way, but
you might need 4 more feet, Danielle, here.
All there, back house. Stay close.
I think it's coming down.
Yagi, hard.
I think we gotta go.
Hard line. Hard line.
Wait, it's nice.
Hard line. Whoa, 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 whoa. Just top roll, whoa, whoa.
Danielle Sasinski brings hers around, sits right on the top of the button.
Come down a lot.
Dead buried behind those 2 guards, but
I had a 14-3 on that.
it's still not
You got it.
not the worst news for Amber Holland.
The screaming and the clapping that you just heard was a great shot by Robin Silvernagle.
Oh my goodness, that was a replay.
She got by that guard by as much as poor Taryn touched the guard last end. But anyway, she made a fantastic triple. I guess not quite a triple because the red didn't quite go out, but doesn't matter. Silvernagle sitting 2.
Hard line. Okay, you're good.
Right to it, Amber. Tapping it a hair. Good.
Laura Strong had a couple of difficulties last end, but she brings that draw right down on top of Shot Rock. Nudges it just a little bit.
I think so, Penny.
I like this board.
Now Penny
Oh,
Barker
you don't just want to peel?
able to start moving some of those rocks out of the free guard zone.
I don't need to, though. I just don't want to jam it on ours, that's all.
Okay, throw 10 then.
What are you throwing?
What weight?
10.
Just looking to remove that stone. If they'd gotten a little fortunate, it might have spun into the rings, but it rolls just through the edge of the 12-foot. Still in play.
Yeah.
10. Okay. Here we go.
Double is available here, but it's not the rock at the back of the button that they're worried about just yet.
10.
So looking to make the hit and roll.
Whoa. Maybe a little bit. Close.
9-8.
Close.
Whoa.
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 Sherry.
Sherry.
Or Strong with the hit.
Sorry.
Drives it
That's good.
by the yellow, and the shooter doesn't roll over very much.
I like trying the double. You just played the shot. If you jam, that's fine. Like straight jam. Okay.
Are we comfortable?
9-5.
Well, I mean, the hit and roll is risky as well, so.
What? Wait, Penny?
9-5.
You can't leave it, so. Let's do this one.
Like we can't be in between. That's the only
No,
thing.
yeah, for
And
sure.
this is-
High side, if anything, right, Lorraine?
This is risky.
Straight up, buddy, straight up.
Might be risky, but there's no other
Yeah,
option.
this is the shot, and it's, you know, the
Absolutely.
difference in the call here versus the call that Amber Holland just made is as simple as who's got last rock. Amber Holland was looking to get the play underneath the center guards. Penny Barker would like to get the play to the corner, so she can make the double and roll to the corner. She's done exactly what she wanted.
Yep.
This might be a little thin on the first contact, though.
Ah.
Well, she might get them both over the top.
Works.
When I heard straight deal, I thought
I was going to go across and then do it.
Did leave a biter, but it moved both of the red stones out of that center area.
Here we go.
Yep.
Amber Holland now looking to remove shot stone. She hasn't given up on the steal. If you can make the hit and roll behind cover, the steal's still in play, but she's happy to have that little biter over there. It might at least give her the chance to force the single.
Yep, for sure.
And this is going to have to curl if she's going to get the roll at all. In fact, this is going the other way. And right out of the rings.
Not really what they wanted.
So just the one stone left in the rings. It is open. Deanna Doig will look to make the hit and roll into the rings a little bit more, but she does want to keep the play away from the center guard. At this point in time, Susan, I think Penny probably pretty happy to play this end out for a blank if she could.
Oh, absolutely.
Clean, yep. Both, yes, both. Clean it. Okay. Clean.
Makes the hit, just rolls a couple of inches further into the 12-foot.
Amber's still seeing here she can get the play back to the middle with a roll, even though that's a really, really long guard.
But probably too early to ignore that stone and go for the hard steal. She doesn't want to give up two.
Clean. Yep. You do 9-5. Yep.
Well, we've seen how Penny's team does like to have rocks in play even with the lead, so no point shooting yourself out of this game yet.
Rolls just an inch or so to the outside, still hanging on for a piece of the 12-foot. Either team rolls out here, you'll see somebody try to use that guard, and I think that's true of either team right now. Late enough in the end that if Amber Holland rolls out, Penny Barker might come around and try to get two that way.
Hard. Read up. Got a piece, keep going. Okay. Okay.
Makes the hit, but the shooter is going to roll across the back of the 12-foot and out of play. So Amber Holland will get a chance to come around that guard.
14. You got it. Yours went real far.
Sorry?
So 15 to T.
What?
We said after yours it was 15 to T, right?
Yeah. Sure it is.
Righty.
Okay.
Top 8's good, I think. Don't want to go too deep. It's pretty long.
Right.
That's right. If Amber can put this in top 8 behind that guard, Penny's got a bit of a choice that she'll have to make because she won't really be able to hit it. She's got to bump it a long way, bring that weight up, and it might go right by. But if Amber does bring this into the tee line, that does give Penny the opportunity just to nestle in on top.
Like it.
And still keep a 2-ender alive. So top 8 foot would be ideal.
Nice. 8 foot. Okay, not curling a lot. Now it's moving. Now it's curling. Yep. Mine's good. Yep. Easy, just top 8. Oh, it's gonna overcut.
Boy, a lot of room by the guard, and you can hear Sherry already
Amber.
able to tell as it was going by that it was coming out the other side. It's a lot of finish in that spot. It's almost completely open.
I don't think
15 there?
So, yeah.
That, I mean, she can roll under.
Yeah, but
15
she does. She's back here.
Sorry, 15 on that?
So without the sweep, the weight was pretty close, just needed another 6 inches on that broom or so in order to get the rock placement she was looking for.
I like the 10.
Yeah, just a 10.
10. I think a little less with the 10 maybe. Okay. Do you want to throw less?
Roll over your way?
No. 10, I like. You can tighten it a little, though.
I guess, yeah, probably.
For Penny Barker, the key here is stay in the ring somewhere.
Roll my way.
Roll. Lorraine.
Okay. You got a big chunk there.
Wants to make Amber Holland play this stone. Doesn't want to give her another chance to draw around that center guard, make it better, and then she may be forced or possibly give up a steal. Keep the play out in the open and hopefully have a chance to blank this end.
Stop! 10-5! No! Do you want Lorraine to go?
Clean.
Do you want Lorraine?
Lorraine!
Get it over. Get it over.
Hard, Lorraine. Hard.
Hard. I got it.
Okay.
Makes the hit, but the shooter will roll out of play.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, probably the same weight.
Okay.
For this time.
More ice?
Yeah.
Looks good. Let's do it.
So Amber Holland still hoping for the steal.
T-line? Yeah. I'll give me the same weight, I guess.
Well, 1 point either way would certainly help, but
Be happy with the force, you're
so
right.
even if you could get top 12 foot, just get it in, and if you're behind that guard, Penny will have to take her one. So I forgot to look to see if Amber opened up the broom a little bit.
She did say it would take a little bit more ice.
Same. A little more.
Line's good. More line.
Weight's close. A little bit more, maybe.
Stay close.
Okay. Not curling.
I think you're okay for line.
Line's coming now. Line's coming. Line's good.
We got a goal.
Yep.
Yes.
You know, we did hear them being particular about which one of those stones they threw in which order earlier in the game, and I thought if anything I thought I heard one of them say that they thought that had a little more weight. It comes up short of the first one, but it is fully in the 12 foot, and Penny Barker feels like she's got enough of it to go for the blank.
Over half? I don't know. Penny's in my road.
9.5.
Okay.
Again, this is one of the things that you have to train yourself as a shooter, that, you know, as you're learning the game and developing the game, you know, you like to have open shots, but this is where you have to learn to block that guard out of your sight line when you're sitting here. And I love watching, you know, these guys on TV. They can see a tenth of a rock and go, oh, it's open, I got it. But you have to train yourself that that is an open shot.
Danielle, go.
Danielle. Clean. You're good.
She does make the hit. The shooter rolls across, and it will go all the way out of the rings. She gets the blank end. She will retain last rock into the 6th end of play. Kim Hudson made her way down to ice level, and we're going to see if we can get a few words here with Penny Barker. And she's with Kim now. So
Let me
Kim,
start
take it
again.
away.
You're coming into this event ranked first, defending champion after a great Bonspiel season. How does that help you coming into this event?
I think it just, we know what it takes to win this thing. And I think just playing consistently all year has really helped us. We continued to work hard and train, but obviously things were working, so we didn't have to change too much coming into this, the provincials. So I think it's just a matter of keeping it consistent, keep calm. It's a long event and there's a lot of great teams, so we got to play hard.
Kim, you can hear me. I know that Penny can't, but as a follow-up to what you just asked, does she feel like she's got a target on her back?
I'm just getting advice from up top, so let me change the question. Instead of asking you about what I was going to say, Sean wants to know if you feel you have a target on your back.
I actually don't, just because it's such an even field. I think it's just the rankings just tell you when you play, and yeah, it's nice to be recognized by your peers to be first, but honestly, any one of these teams could have been first too. We're just gonna roll with it. I think any team out here could have a target on any given day.
Yeah, good answer. Awesome. Thank you, Penny. Good luck the rest of the weekend.
Thank you.
Saskatchewan Championship Curling is brought to you by Viterra, SaskTel, Service Equipment, White Ice and Eastside Paint and Wallpaper, Jiffy Lube, CurlSask, and SaskTel Mats. Introducing the all-new heated cab for the John Deere 1R tractor. Simply captivating.
When you need to hurry, you can count on Team Jiffy Lube. With fast, warranty-approved service while you wait. Jiffy Lube, your oil change experts.
Really? Yeah. Awesome.
Not better. Yeah. Could be even better.
Want to try it and have some fun? Hurry hard to your local curling center or visit CurlSask.ca to find a curling center near you.
As Canada's grain industry leader, Viterra and its employees are connected to their communities across Western Canada. Through its community investment program, Viterra supports a wide variety of causes and initiatives, including those focused on sports and recreation that encourage teamwork, integrity, and high performance. These same values guide Viterra's employees when providing farm customers with trusted advice and quality service. Viterra is a proud sponsor of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Oh Canada, glowing hearts, see thee rise. True north, true pride, strong and free, both far and wide. This land is glorious, and it's ours, from sea to shining sea.
You're always home on Canada's largest wireless network with no roaming fees.
Welcome back, everyone. Once again, we'll update all of the scores here on Draw 7. Everybody at the halfway point.
Well, another messy fifth end, and Candace Chisholm was actually sitting one. on her last stone. Chantal Eberly just narrowly missed a couple of doubles, but with nothing to hit and a port that I don't even know was there. Candace attempted to draw a piece of the forefoot for a second point, but didn't quite make it. Settled for her single and a 4-2 lead for Chantal Eberly in the 6th.
On sheet 2, it was Sherry Anderson with the big scores of 2 in the first and 3 in the third, jumping out to lead, but she did get forced to a single going into the break. She's got the 6-2 lead, but Stephanie Lawton with last rock as they play in the 6th there.
And we saw a couple of opportunities by the Holland team kind of slip away, allowing Penny Barker the opportunity for the blank, which she took full advantage of, and a 4-2 lead for her.
And Robin Silvernagel out to a great start in her game on sheet 4. Had the single in the first, again in the second, and 2 in the fourth. Those were all stolen points. Then forces Karen Schachtel to take the single in the 5th, and she's now got a 4-1 lead with last rock as they play the 6th end there.
Well, for a total of about a quarter of an inch on 2 Terran shots, that score could be completely different out there. So Silvernagel's team is playing well, and they're really starting to throw some big hits now. So they're feeling pretty comfortable out there and looking pretty settled for the second half of this game.
Yep, finish it. Yep, come on. Yep. Go, go, go. Hard, girl. That's fine.
And Kim's made her way back up to join us now. And
did you miss me?
We did miss you, Kim, and I want to thank you. Despite everything that's been going on with the coughs and the, and the sore throat, you've done a great job with those interviews all week long, but we did have a question.
No, that's great. Thank
Dave
you.
Buttonman Inzioski sitting inside is wondering if any of those curlers down there are afraid to get too close to you in case they might catch whatever it is you've got.
That's probably true. That thought had crossed my mind that I have to keep my distance.
We'll maybe track down a surgical mask for you tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
So not shockingly, rock's in play already, and we've only had 4 of them thrown. And the Barker team at rock at the back 8 foot, which
that one they won't be very happy with.
Worrisome.
Clean's good.
Laura Strong looking to make a play on that stone at the top of the 8 foot. She'd like to move it back.
It's curling.
Start to get a wall going back there at the back of the 8 foot.
Hard.
Boy, they lost the line on that one. It crashes into the guard. Looks like the weight was pretty good for what they were playing.
Yeah.
Certainly did not want to split your only center guard off like that.
Exactly.
Laura's just going, oh, just shoot me. Like, what else can I do wrong tonight? It's
Well,
just, you know, sometimes it just happens.
You just can't get it. And the harder you try, the worse it gets sometimes.
I don't know if there was anything she could have done on that one. They certainly didn't seem worried about the line
they
early,
didn't panic on
and
the
her
sweep.
weight was good. Just surprised them a little bit. I don't think they were expecting that move.
10.
So all the skip can do is send down the reassurance that you threw what was asked and just keep plugging away.
Deanna, go, 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 go. Yeah.
Lorraine Schneider looking to hit and roll away from that center line area. Makes it perfectly. She's even in behind cover.
This was the 8th end. We might have seen a little bit different call, but Amber's just still not going to shoot yourself out of the game. It's only the 6th.
And she's only down 2.
Yeah, it's a little too early to panic.
Whoa.
Makes the hit. It comes across and just nudges the second stone, so it is still Penny Barker sitting 2.
Good news is, though, there's a few red rocks in the ring and in play.
Come here. Yeah.
15 here.
This will slide, yeah.
Oh, I gave it quite a bit.
Oh, we're
I don't want to.
back house
Sorry,
for sure.
I don't want to. Well then, don't want to.
I'm looking over on sheet 2.
Better
The
to
score is
rub, I think.
6-2 Anderson over Lawton, and I'm not sure how this sort of happened, but there's Another 4 Anderson rocks in the rings, and Stephanie Lawton needs to make a run back double to try to stop the bleeding.
Stephanie Schmidt was attempting to do a hit and roll in or to get into that button area and hit and rolled out. Now Sherry Anderson is drawn in behind that tight yellow center guard that's of Stephanie Lawton and attempting to guard that rock that's top button. So yes, Stephanie Lawton yet again looking out for raising a rock of hers outside of the rings. Just outside of the rings.
So you're basically just nose, little the inside's fine.
Well, with that draw attempt coming through the rings,
There we go, Sherry.
Amber Holland asking Sherry Singler to make a play. It's that buried stone they're worried about. It's not the shot rock at the back of the 8-foot. At this point in time, Amber Holland would be happy to get a force.
9.
Whoa. Clean. Whoa. Whoa.
I was wondering if Penny, you know, just to keep those red rocks from accumulating, maybe thought of hitting the open red rock that was in the rings on the other side.
Good.
Instead of drawing. However, the draw would have worked as well. Easy to second guess when the shot isn't made. But
nice double raise takeout made there for Amber Holland, just sitting second, but second, third, and fourth. And that'll give her the chance if she can eliminate the Yellowstones to get the force here. Deanna Doig looking to draw in, and the key now for the Barker team, if you don't want to get forced, is how do you keep these rocks separated?
that's true, and I have to admit, I was
really
thinking
good.
that
Get it there, guys,
Amber
hard.
had a hammer, but she doesn't.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hard, guys, hard,
Sorry,
line.
that long run sprint, might I add, across the ring made me forget what had happened.
Amber's wishing you were right. Boy, they're going to have to go on this to get it by. It's going to rub that red stone. Now, will it come in for second?
Not
no.
quite.
Well, for Amber Holland, if you're looking for the force, the nose hit gives you the chance to sit 2. And the rock that is currently second shot is in behind 2 reds. Yes, it is on the corner, but Penny Barker can't get at it to bring that Yellowstone in the 12-foot back into play.
Little down.
Clean.
10-5.
Yep. 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 Right up. Hard. Good sweeping, ladies.
Good shot by Sherry. Leaves red sitting 2.
Nice shirt.
Like that.
Nice shirt.
We're not either that or here. I think I like that. Okay, roll this way then. 10.
I think I like that call too, because you really don't want to start stacking them and freezing them and giving Amber some sort of an opportunity to get on top of 2 or 3 rocks there. That I think this is being another scoreboard call, but I like Deanna's suggestion.
10. Close.
Mine took a long time.
Stay close.
Coming down. We're quite down.
Lorraine, go. Go, 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 go. Go.
Now they're looking for some extra curl on this. She wanted to roll, but she definitely needs to stay in the 8-foot, and they do get the necessary curl to do that.
Yeah, I think so. That's good.
Now, once again, Barker sitting 1 at the back 8, and Amber Holland will have to make a play on that stone.
Okay. 10. Yep. Nose is good.
Clean.
Clean's good. Clean. Just clean. Clean. Stop moving. Get off of it.
Clean. Way to get a spin on it. Clean. Good.
Makes the hit, stays right there. Noticing just a quick bit of a contrast between the two teams in that the Barker team much more aggressive about using the offside sweep when they need to get some curl. You heard Amber say, even at the end, say get off that one. They were just going to let it curl on its own. And the Barker team, to their credit, and it certainly seemed to help them last year, they are perhaps the most aggressive team in the field as to how they will use that brushing to try to get the curl when they need it.
Roll under a bit. Okay.
Well, that's a really good point. And chatting with some of the curlers out there in the circuit, I don't know if there's sort of a definitive book yet on now the directional sweeping, now that the new brush heads have
With the
come
new brush
in.
heads, you're right.
Watching some of the trials and everything, you saw a mixture of keeping two sweepers on, going back to the old school, using one, having one sort of doing like a quasi snowplow. Saw everything out there.
You also saw a bit of a difference between the way the men use it and the way the women use it.
Yep. Whoa, whoa. Whoa. Back up. Whoa. Hard, Lorraine. Hard.
And here we see it in play again, trying to get the curl out of this stone. Not going to get enough. It hits and rolls out of the rings.
All right, Penny. Might as well, hey? Wow, why not? Roll to there and... I'm thinking 10 there? Yeah. This is one I curled, but I didn't throw it that well, right?
Right. So where do you want to end up?
I think right on center line.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, roll to center and then chicane nose. Okay.
For Amber Holland, in order to be able to get the force, she definitely needed to be sitting at least 2 here. Really, Penny Barker's going to have something open to throw at anyway, so her approach here is, we may as well, and I think I even heard her say that, may as well make her look at 4.
Absolutely.
And actually, if she makes that roll right to the center line that she was talking about, she will at least alter the draw path that Penny Barker might take.
That's right. And I don't think, depending on where this roll goes, that she can hit it for her 1 point.
No, I don't think there's any way she's going to have a nose hit for 1.
Yes. Go.
Nice. Good job.
So there you go. Penny drawing for her 1 point here.
The out turn draw is still available. That definitely takes away the comfortable path on the in turn.
Amber just happy after all the red rocks that she looked at this afternoon that she's returning the favor to somebody, but it's always important you make them throw it. Sometimes,
you never know.
This is...
Well, I thought these were routine. It's a draw against 4, Susan.
Yes.
You keep telling us that's routine.
Yes, it is, but it's not always necessary. This is one of these shots, though, because those 4 rocks are all kind of virtually in the same place. Like you either catch the 8-foot for 1 or you give up 4. There's not a lot of room in that 12-foot to start out counting those 4 rocks.
I know what you're saying. Having said that, she needs to get fully to get her point.
Looks like a lot to me.
Rush just tried to jump this right away, but it looked to me like Penny added a little bit as she let it go, so she might have felt she was light sliding out. Weight looks close now.
Really running.
Sweepers have backed away a bit. This is definitely going to be towards the back of the house. Sherry Singler ready to go.
I think it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
But it will come to rest fully in the back of the 8-foot, and Penny Barker does pick up a single to take a 5-2 lead into the 7th end.
White Ice, the ice paint people, set out to develop a very specific ice paint product that would satisfy the needs of the professional ice maker in both hockey and curling. White Ice was successfully formulated and tested, and distribution began in 1988 and has since expanded their line of products and services to meet the needs of today's professional ice makers. White Ice is distributed by Eastside Paint and Wallpaper in Saskatoon, who is also a signature Benjamin Moore paint dealer. White Ice and Eastside Paint and Wallpaper, defining the game.
Take your Share More plan with you and enjoy worry-free data in the U.S. The all-new Share More Canada and U.S. plan, now available from SaskTel.
Welcome back, everyone. Once again, we're going to update all of the scores here in draw 7.
Chantal Eberly was facing a buried rock that Candace Chisholm had just put a very nice guard on. Chantal tried to just throw back line weight, try to remove it, tap it back for the 1 point, possibly even the 2 points. But a great guard by Candace Chisholm led to a steal, and they're still in this game. It's 4-3. Chantal Eberly playing the 7th end.
Over on sheet 2, Stephanie Lawton was looking at 3 red Anderson rocks in the rings, but made a nice nose hit for her 1 point. Score over there, 6-3 Anderson over Lawton. Anderson will have last rock in the 7th end.
Well, we saw a Penny Barker draw that had her team holding their breath there just at the end, but it hung on in the back full 8-foot, looking at 4 Holland Stones in the 12-foot, gets her 1 point and takes a 5-2 lead.
And over on sheet 4, Martin versus Silvernagle. Martin scored last in the 5th end with 1 point. 6th end was blank, so the score remains 4-1 in favor of Silvernagle.
And on our feature sheet, the first stone at the end was brought into the top 8-foot. Now we see Debbie Lazinski looking to throw the corner guard. Amber Holland doesn't want to get out of the way because she doesn't want to let that rock crawl into the rings. It will stop for a corner guard.
And just quickly, we have Robin Silvernagle drawing against 2 Nancy Martin stones here that are buried. One is just about full 4. The other one is full 8-foot, so she's played the wide out turn, trying to catch T-line and hoping it curls in. Finds the side of the button, and it looks like she's got her 1 point.
Very nicely done.
Hard.
So make that score 5-1 Silvernagle over Martin.
Hard, keep it moving. Hard. Okay.
Great sweep, guys.
Good.
Great sweep.
Good pair.
We were looking at a few other sheets. Sean, did you see Penny called for a center guard?
She did, and I'm still wondering why.
Okay.
Well, sometimes playing Confuse a Cat can maybe get you a little bit of an edge, keep the opposition on the toe.
But I don't know if
that's the best I can come up with.
Yeah, I used to like to take the approach as the skip that, okay, what shot does the other team want me to play? Let's not play that one, but that is the shot Amber Holland would have called for her.
Go if you need to now. Yep. Still got room. Yep. Hard. All the way back. Yep. Hard. Yep. Keep coming. Keep going.
Hard, Sherry, go.
Keep going. That's good, Deb.
But it's clearly a part of their playbook because they're very consistent
Well,
with
yes,
that call.
for sure. They've got to be comfortable playing it.
I like that.
But if I do see Coach Merv Fonger with his cup of Tim Hortons coffee, which he's perpetually got in his hand, I think I am quite curious as to ask him if that's a standard play or if that's just the way it's happening.
I did see him writing some stuff down. They do peel the corner guard when they get the chance. Now it'll be a
Quick here, Deb.
bit of a cat and mouse
Quick
game.
here.
Amber
Yeah,
Holland
nice.
will look
Really
to
nice.
continue to guard that stone now with
But be positive with that rock.
the yellow being shot rock in the middle. Eventually she'll have to make some kind of play in that area. Laura Strong looking to put the corner guard back first.
2.5, 3. Okay.
2.
It's over curling.
2.
Low line.
This one finishes hard.
Okay, good.
Good, Laura.
They had to leave that one a little bit higher. They were worried about it over curling, and it does look like there's a piece of that stone open.
Last time I don't have a lot. I'd rather just peel.
It's just the peel is going into our own now.
Gonna take your own
We
guard
gotta
with the
do
peel.
this.
I only have like not even a quarter, like maybe just a quarter.
Throw board. It'll come up and roll out, that's fine.
Let's make sure you play it tight.
Yeah.
Are you sensing hesitation from the other end?
Well, I am, but Penny's right here. You can't just peel the guard because your shooter's going to come across
going
and
into
move
the
your
center.
own guard, and then you're you're giving her a chance to hit this at 2.
And Penny's going, it's a quarter. Like, I mean, how much more do you want?
Well, she just rubs the guard, comes in and removes her own stone, and now I'm not sure who's got shot rock. Anybody want to guess?
Not really. Listen to Amber.
Still think they're.
I'm not sure from the way she said that if she's sure and if it matters. She feels like they've got to guard that anyway. She's probably right about that. But it will change things later on. If you're already shot rock, you don't ever have to make a play on that yellow one.
Maybe a touch more. It looks like a lot.
It's, yeah.
I'm hopeful.
3 to 4. Still a 3. It's going to be really tight.
It was still a 3 for a second there.
2 or 3 or 4 or just about 5.
9-5.
And on top of that, with where it's curled to, it's a nose hit, gets both of them.
Really, no. Okay, 9-5.
Looked at playing the outturn first, and just the position of that red corner guard, the outturn didn't look as nice from the hack. If it ever ran for a bit, you could actually clip the guard. So,
well, I saw Sherry Anderson call that outturn hit last night, and that guard wasn't even in her sight line. But again, you play your preferences for sure.
Well, Deanna makes the hit, but over curl just a little bit, jams rather than getting the double. It is definitely the Barker stone sitting shot right now, and second shot still, I think it's just about fully open. We were talking earlier, eventually Amber Holland was going to have to make a play on this stone. We're on Sherry Singler's first stone. They're going to make the play on it now. Hit here and roll to the open. You'd have 2 rocks sitting opposite side of the house, and not a lot of time for Penny Barker to try to group them and play a double. This is a long ways out yet, though.
Clean. Clean.
Starting curl, you hear clean. That's a good sign.
Yep. Roll, Deb. Roll. Go, go, go.
Makes the hit.
Gets them just about across from each other.
Laura, can you hear me? 10.
Amber Holland having a few little voice issues as well. I've noticed I've had to make a few adjustments on her mic level. So
well, Laura's pretty quippy. I would think I might have come back with a, do I want to?
Yeah.
We're all like, we're really firm.
Danielle. Not bad, 9-6.
Deanna Doig was looking to hit and roll under cover. This actually hits on the outside, rolls out of play. Well, now if you're Amber Holland,
Hey, Sherry.
you come around the guard, you expect Penny Barker to make a play on the open one. If she rolls out again, you might have a chance for 3 here.
I think we'll eat. We're Amber. Just up 12, minus 8's good. Okay.
Okay, so 15.
Key here is not to be deep enough that she can play the in-off double off the open stone.
And they've gone to school from the 5th end there, and Amber's got that broom out, you know, wide into the 12-foot even just a bit. So we saw where it curled quite a bit there 2 ends ago.
I gave it a hair, Laura. I gave it a hair.
Okay.
I think we're just 12. Okay, looking at you then. Line's not bad. Hard! 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 Go! Yeah, keep coming. Every inch.
Gonna have to go all they can just to get this buried.
Good, Sherry.
That's good sweeping.
Only got half of it behind cover anyway. Well, maybe a little less than half. Enough.
Okay.
Penny Barker will have to make a play on the open stone.
Yeah.
And is she looking for the long roll behind cover? I didn't see her indicate.
I don't think she really did, but I think she'd be happy with it.
10. Hit 2/3 and roll under.
There you go.
There you go.
Looking to roll under.
Stay straight up here.
They jumped on that right out of her hand.
And this in turn curls hard if you're tossing it in.
Makes the hit, and
Ooh, they overswept out of her hand.
they did. A little bit panic on the brush, and line holds more than they thought it would, and does stick around for shot rock.
Which is good news for them. So Amber can't be sitting 2 behind cover, although I guess the rule would do the same.
Yeah, I think Penny apologized to Deanna there for that line call because she must have felt she had done something with it when on the release.
And the tap, you only got to move it a foot. Even if I move it all the way out, right? It's not the end of the world.
We're not shot, yeah, so we'd have to move it.
But she doesn't move it.
Amber's going to play the freeze to that back one.
Freeze tap, I think.
Freeze tap, yeah. Make sure you're sitting 2.
That's probably close.
So 15 or a little quicker to see?
Yeah, well, yeah, just, yeah. Okay, yeah, sounds good.
Same?
Okay, we got to move it. Okay, but I can play the hit too if you guys want that. Like, they're shot, so we have to move it.
Whatever you think. Nothing wrong with either one. Whatever you think.
Even if I tap it out, it's not the end of the world. Yep. Yeah. But I'll give you back 12, like, kind of that just through. Okay. Pretty nice going to the wings here, or like 15-ish. Yep.
And what Amber Holland's thinking here, if you can make the nice tap, move it just far enough to be sitting 2, it makes it a little tougher for Penny Barker to remove it, and that gives her an outside chance at 3 yet.
Yep. Let it work. Just to it.
Let it work. Just to it.
Clean it.
Not quite moving it. Not moving it.
We got to curl.
Yeah, it's moving it.
Bumping it. Bumping it.
Got to curl, girls. A long ways here. Got to curl.
Go on the yellow, Sherry. Yep. Go on the yellow.
Go. Hard.
It's fine.
Taps it far enough to sit 2, but not straight enough to make this removal difficult.
Yeah, that's good.
I guess it was going into that big curl. You know, we saw where the intern kind of swoops going into the center line, and even though that still curled a bit with, you know, just nice working backline weight there, it didn't go as hard as what we've seen in other places.
10. Just roll under. Okay. They're second now? Yeah.
Last rock over on sheet 4 gives Taryn a hit and stick for 2 points.
Jolene Campbell jammed on something there at the back. She was just trying a straightforward removal on her second one, and since then, the Nancy Mark team has held their 2-ender.
Yes, 10. Hard. Whoa. Yes. Hard.
Penny Barker was looking for the hit and roll behind cover. It's going to roll just out into the open, and will it stick for shot? It does. So Amber Holland will have to make a play on that stone to get her 2.
10 there.
So that intern is finishing really hard. There's a little swoop there, and I guess Amber must have caught that counter turn on her last item.
And that was a nice hit and stick for 2 points for the Nancy Martin team over on sheet 4. Score over there now 5-3.
Little down.
Amber Holland, the out-turn hit attempt with her last stone has to stay right there. Doesn't have a lot of room to roll. She can pick up 2 points if she sticks on the nose, but nothing out of the brushers yet. And this is going to have to finish if she's going to stay there. Makes the hit, rolls just a little bit, but has that much room and gets her 2 points. She closes to within 5-4. Penny Barker will have last rock in the 8th end.
be better. Could be better.
Want to try it and have some fun? Hurry hard to your local curling center or visit CurlSask.ca to find a curling center near you.
When you need to hurry, you can count on Team Jiffy Lube. With fast, warranty-approved service while you wait. Jiffy Lube, your oil change experts.
The 8th inning in our feature game just about to get underway, and let's quickly take a look at all the scores here in Draw 7 before that happens.
7th end, it looked like Chantal Eberly might have something going there, but not sure if it was Natalie Bloomfield or Lana Vey, but somebody must have done a triple, because the next thing you look, 3 Eberly rocks are gone. The rest of the end played out where Chantal had the blank to maintain her 4-3 lead.
Over on sheet 2, Sherry Anderson had a nose hit against 2 to take her 1 point and have a 7-3 lead playing into the 8th end.
And we saw Amber Holland nose hit that just stayed on to where it needed to stay and got 2 points, and it's game on here, 5-4.
Yep, and over on sheet 4, we saw Taryn make a nice nose hit for 2 points in the 8th end. Closes the gap a little bit, 5-3. Silvernagel over Martin. Silvernagel does have hammer play in the 9th end.
So even though Amber did get down early, you know, it was 4-0 after 3 ends. I think it's been quite a lesson here in patience.
Yeah, that's
and
exactly
just
right.
step by step. We've seen her call it a couple of times, you know, not to shoot herself out of the game. Let's just stay in this, just try to hold them to singles.
Exactly.
Take a safe 2 points, force it with hammer.
Yep, no panic.
And here we are. Penny does have the lead with hammer, but we always know 8, 9, and 10, things can change very quickly.
That is true.
Now, we did see the guard thrown up, and Penny Barker came around it this time. Do you think Amber Holland might play for the hard steal here? You get a steal in 8. You've actually presumably got last rock in 10. You're in a pretty good position all of a sudden. But is it worth risking it that hard in the 8th end?
Yeah, that's a good question. Probably, I guess, see the way this sort of plays out, but I do know where you're going.
I was
At even
looking for an answer.
Well, and I don't have one, although I could pretend, because I'm pretty good at that. But the even ends really are so important, and especially the 8th end of all the even ends. I think you will see Amber going hard.
Sorry.
Well, that is a very nice Barker rock there on the very top button, but if Amber is going really hard, would there not be 2 rocks on that center line as a guard? She's still sort of playing it a bit safer.
But is that not dictated by where that first guard ended up? We talked about that a bit yesterday. When you get the halfway guard, it's really tough to put a second one up and get the separation.
So that's what makes me think she's going for that safe steal.
Well, I don't think she meant for it to be a 2. We saw 2 or 3 ends ago that they actually did play the 2 guards tight and long. So I'd be very surprised if she was looking for that guard at halfway. That's just where it ended up. Laura Strong looking to come around the 2 stones at the top of the 12-foot and freeze onto the corner of Shot Rock.
Probably on its own.
Line's really good. Could work a little bit. Needs to move a bit. Needs to move.
Okay, well, we're back 4. We're tracking. We can go around. We're back 8.
Yeah, you're around already.
All right, we're back 8 on its own. Back 12.
Alrighty.
That's code. Code. Yeah.
It's code because she's mic'd.
It's maybe the little signal she's giving me to tell me, could you please mute my mic for a moment?
Yeah.
Easy. Hard, yes. Just clean. Hard, 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 hard. Just clean, you're fine.
Nice peel.
That's good. Good job. Okay. There's nothing wrong with 6. No? We thought it was a hair straighter.
No, they're still talking rocks.
Well, and she said something about the 6, so it sounds like they've switched some rocks out and given Laura a different pair. She feels like there's nothing wrong with it after she threw it the first time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's a little late for that now.
2.5.
My guess is they thought it was a little heavier, so she threw a little more with it.
It's gliding,
and it
guys.
went right where they thought.
Yeah, a little bit if you can. 2. Just get it across the line a little bit. Good. Very nice.
A little look to replace the center guard. You heard Amber talking about getting it across the line just a little bit, and the thought there is at some point in time, if it's all she's got left, she'll play the yellow onto the red onto shot rock.
If she can see it.
If she can see it, that's why she needed it to cross the line a bit.
Yep.
Now the other question, and that's purely a matter of personal preferences, if she does play that shot, how much weight do you want to throw at it? You can throw it with just enough weight to move to the back forefoot. You could try to remove it altogether.
Yeah, it's what you know best, the ice, the situation, what you feel like throwing, whether it's a full moon, half moon.
It's her regular one. What? Give her the 4?
6. She'll take 6, 7.
Yeah. Okay.
No, Amber will take 6, 7.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, you just throw yours.
Yeah. Okay.
It's disregard?
It's keen, yeah.
I'm not sure whose rocks they've switched around then. They say Amber's taking 6, 7, so she's given away the 8.
All there.
Easy.
3.
Easy line down. No. Are you to this? No.
No, it's just a tight 3.
Tight 3.
Even 2.5 now.
Just maybe just to it.
Yeah, I don't know.
No. Yes, no.
Yeah, I don't. Okay.
A little tighter to those 2 at the top of the 12-foot than she might have liked, and the reason being is she doesn't want to give Penny Barker any kind of a chance to blast everything in the front and remove all of those rocks.
Which doesn't look like she's going
Not
to
a
attempt.
Not great for us.
It is tight, but the lineup's not great to try to get them all moving. It probably comes back into shot rock.
Yeah.
You could maybe get 2 of them. Problem is that leaves the red
What do you
stone.
leave?
Yeah, the red stone that's at the top of the 8-foot is the one you'd leave, and it would be available to promote. So it looks like the call is just a straight peel on the guard that was just thrown. Deanna Doig with the big weight on the out turn.
That's good.
Makes the hit, removes the guard. Do you throw one more guard, or are you coming around for the...
Play that now?
Nope, she's looking at the double tap now.
Okay.
You could still try to come around and corner freeze on the yellow, too.
We're still on thirds rocks.
Okay.
Let's go, Sherry.
But then, too, you take a look at who's standing in the hat.
Sure, right up.
And always want to play to your player's strengths. So, not that Sherry certainly would not make the corner freeze here, but this is definitely one of her strong points.
Feel.
Whoa. Clean. Clean. Whoa. Off. Off. Clean. Yep. Whoa.
Makes the hit onto the red, back onto the yellow, and will it push it back far enough to sit 2? Does.
Certainly opens up the end, though.
He knows it. Okay, then that's fine. Yeah. It's 9-5.
Okay, Dean, nice throw here.
So as you say, it's a bit of a breather for Penny, because at least now she might be looking at 2 or 3 on her last one, but so far at this rate it's going to be open.
Not much to think about.
Maybe a little slow.
The nose hit here. Deanna could make the double. This is a long ways out, though. She's going to have to curl a lot to make contact with the second red at all. This is
Sherry Singler getting ready to sweep.
close to going onto the
out.
yellow. And it does. And the shooter rolls out of the rings as well. So just the one stone left in the rings. It is the red at the back of the 8-foot belonging to Amber Holland. And
No, probably there.
not a great steal situation anymore, but certainly you should be able to set up some kind of a force.
Little, yeah.
Well, and Penny's been extremely accurate with her shooting tonight, but you just never know. Looking at two, you know, we look forward here in a couple more shots. Sometimes you get that hit and roll out and you get that steal.
Okay.
Or on the draw,
Top
they
eight
just come
across
in
the
for
line
second
there.
shot.
Okay.
So just keep the pressure on. Just rock in an awkward spot for Penny.
We talk about it a lot in the 10th end when you see a team that needs to steal. It's the two easy ways to steal one. You either have to sit two or you have to be buried. Well, Amber Holland's going to have a chance to sit two this end. Penny Barker not likely to draw against two with a 1-point lead. Rollout can always happen. We've seen a few of them in this game.
Not curling a lot yet.
What do you think, Deb?
Not moving. Now it is. Now it's curling.
Amber looking to put this stone in the top 8-foot on the other side of the center line.
It's really moving. Yep. Go, Laura. Go, Laura. Go, Laura.
Rushers gave it everything they could to try to get it into the paint, and I'm not sure it's there.
Know. Guess we'll hear.
I don't think we just hit, don't we? It is.
I don't think so. I don't think it's in. Just because Laura's reaction.
I just
It'll
watched
be
the
like,
body language.
Yeah,
I
that's
hate
exactly
going
it.
around.
We don't need to roll under though. No,
Right,
just
you
nose
could, I'm
it.
sure. So you get
Yeah.
to two, so.
Even roll your way is fine. I like
Well,
rolling my way.
you can come to
You
this
just
one.
can't
Yeah,
roll.
no.
She can just rip it. I guess if she rolls out, then I've got to.
Yeah.
Did that slide in?
Yeah, it's in.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Like this?
Yeah.
Kind
The
of what I
weight's the
threw. So it's
same,
like
yeah.
14 and a half
Yeah.
to be able to sweep it there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for Penny Barker, she feels that's in, and if you feel like you're going to get forced anyway, you may as well be forced to two. So she's got to play the freeze on the back one. There's two things that can work out in her favor for that.
Okay. I think we're going to need a 14-5 here.
That's what I was thinking too.
Okay.
If Amber Holland tries to blast it out and jams it, she might be able to get two. If she kills everything and rolls out, she's still got the blank.
Yep.
Make it good, guys.
Well, and or if she makes this freeze perfectly, Amber might just sit right on top too and
Follow
say,
her down again.
Yeah.
Little tight line. Gotta go for weight. Hard line. Gotta go.
Brushers said they had to go right out of her hand to get it there.
Line's good.
Line's perfect, guys.
Stay to it. Hard, guys, you got it. Hard.
All the way as far as you can.
Hard, yes.
Wants to be as close to that stone as she can to make it difficult to remove.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, that's good. Good sweep, girls.
She will come into the front corner of the button. It is shot rock, but lots of room to get it by the red.
About sticking around, hey? No, we don't need to be too hurt. I'll give you a 9.5. Okay.
Amber Holland, you heard her say she's not too worried about sticking around. She's going to play the hit and roll out.
Swapping or just kicking?
I'm surprised she's not hitting it from the other side. She's got room to actually roll under her own rock and be in the 4-foot.
What's the
And given the
swapping or
score, you'd
kicking?
think
I
that
think just kicking.
Well,
this would be something she would consider.
It's, if anything, staggered just a little bit to make it easier the other way.
9.5.
Not by much. They're almost dead lined up.
But when you've sort of been chasing all night, this is one of the best opportunities
Yeah,
that
she-
Amber's
She
had.
can play the hit and roll to the corner of the button, and it's a good chance to steal.
No,
Put some pressure on.
Clean, clean it.
Yep. 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 Yep, yep, yep. Yep, yep.
Makes the hit, passes it by her own. Her shooter will roll out of the rings.
Just as they called it. And we're going to see the same thing. So that rock on the top of the ring's definitely in.
I like the same weight.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay. Same thing. Penny, I really like the same weight.
Yeah. I'll give you a couple feet more because you counted that close.
Okay. Yeah. Just throw it the same.
Okay.
I like that from the sweepers. No, we can sweep that hard. Just throw it the same.
Well, you just put the last one on the corner of the button. I don't think you worry about throwing it any differently. You run the risk of it perhaps running a little bit straighter on you.
Just a hair more.
Looks like a lot more.
We might need backing.
Need backing.
Lines
to be good.
Go for the backing.
Yep. Yeah, for the backing.
These are all these tough
Need backing. Need
line
backing.
calls here. You.
Clean.
This one was fairly straightforward. They called it out right away, but so often, you sweep for the backing and then it just goes past anyway.
Good call by the Brushers. They do get
Yep.
the backing and pick up the single point. Penny Barker with a 6-4 lead over Amber Holland.
White Ice, the ice paint people, set out to develop a very specific ice paint product that would satisfy the needs of the professional ice maker in both hockey and curling. White Ice was successfully formulated and tested, and distribution began in 1988 and has since expanded their line of products and services to meet the needs of today's professional ice makers. White Ice is distributed by Eastside Paint and Wallpaper in Saskatoon, who is also a signature Benjamin Moore paint dealer. White Ice and Eastside Paint and Wallpaper, defining the game.
As Canada's grain industry leader, Viterra and its employees are connected to their communities across Western Canada. Through its community investment program, Viterra supports a wide variety of causes and initiatives, including those focused on sports and recreation that encourage teamwork, integrity, and high performance. These same values guide Viterra's employees when providing farm customers with trusted advice and quality service. Viterra is a proud sponsor of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Welcome back, everyone. Getting down to crunch time in all of the games here in Draw 7. We will once again keep you up to date. We've got another update for you.
The Chisholm team had a strong 8th end. Chantal Eberly looking at 2 shots on her last one, forced to hit and stick for the one, which she hit right on the nose, got her 1 point, and takes a 2-point lead into the 9th end.
Over on sheet 2, Stephanie Lawton did have a hit for 2 points, but she hit and rolled out, only getting 1. So 7-4 is the score. Anderson over Lawton, and Anderson does have hammer in the 9th end.
Same thing here as on sheet 1. Penny Barker looking at 2 Amber Holland stones. Comes in, makes her draw, use a little bit of the backing, but that's okay. It still counts. It's 1 point for Penny Barker. 2 points up going into the 9th at 6-4.
And over on sheet 4, Silvernagel was in a bit of trouble most of the 9th end, but with a really nice last shot by Robin, come around draw to the button, gets her 1 point, make that score 6-3, play in the 10th end, Silvernagel over Martin.
Taryn Martin had a rock in the back 4 foot all end long, and it was guard, because Silvernagel did have second shot all end long too. So it was guard, peel. Taryn's last rock, she was just trying to get it in for just a bite of second shot on the center line, and it overcurled just a little bit, and another very nice finesse shot by Robin Silvernagel to draw down to it and keep that lead.
And I've been waiting for that all weekend.
What's that?
I don't know
Taryn
if anybody
Martin.
else caught it, but it was Taryn Martin.
Oh,
it's been
brother.
Taryn Holtby, Taryn Schachtel, and now
Taryn
I knew it was
Martin.
going to happen sooner or later. I'm just glad it wasn't me, Taryn Martin.
Sorry, just wasn't getting overthrow that. Yeah.
Next, it's going to be Nancy Holtby.
Next time I see Nancy Martin.
Good. That's it, guys.
Speaking of Nancy Martin, I believe I heard while I was over there by the officials that they qualified for the playoff round at the mixed doubles.
What weight did
So
you ask for?
kudos to them.
Yes, that's really exciting. It looks like all the last games have come in now, and they're still alive.
Pretty good. Room.
And I know the
Okay, clean.
team out here is really
Lines are
cheering for
bad.
Nancy.
Back
They're all
four,
good.
back four.
They're all such good
Okay,
friends.
stay close.
Every curler out here is cheering for Nancy.
Needs to go. Clean.
And it was
Okay,
one of
move
those,
it,
they knew
move. You
ahead
still
of
need to
time
move
that
it,
there
man.
was a conflict with the 2 events, and Nancy and Catlin have been strong mixed double.
Yeah,
Catlin
they sure
Schneider
have.
have been extraordinarily strong mixed double partners for the last 3 or 4 years. So 2 years.
Are we still shot?
and Nancy has played mixed doubles now for about 4 or 5 years because she started out with Dustin Kaltoff as her first partner.
Come down and try to nudge it a bit.
Debbie Lazinski's having a great game. She comes down on that final stone there, her final stone of the ninth end, makes the little tap back, sits her shooter in behind cover, and now that yellow stone just in the back of the tee line.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
We don't have to, just
time out.
There we go, timeout.
And that's maybe an indication right there of just how well Debbie's playing, because you force the opposition to take a timeout right after you're done throwing.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely this is not the start to the end that Penny Barker would have liked.
Like,
pretty
And I go
tough
back
to
to
just
the same
nudge
question.
that. I
She
don't know
says
that that's a
her first thought's the peel. Well, if you're willing to peel that
so
center guard, why did you throw
you
it?
wanna go in?
but I mean,
my first thought was peel. If they play the hit and roll, at least it's open then, and then we can play this one. I don't know.
peel ours or the red?
the only thing,
Peel red.
they tap this back.
Yeah. Oh, peel the
Let's
red.
hear
I don't
Merv's
think they necessarily would hit it.
pearls of
That's the
wisdom.
only thing.
Yeah.
Like we could peel the yellow.
As somebody goes and stands a
This
little
one can
closer
be
to him, I
open
don't know
if
if
they
we'll
want.
hear
Yeah.
anything.
I
He
don't
doesn't
think
have a
he's saying
microphone
anything
on.
yet, though.
Well, what if we just freeze on the red, or yeah, or yeah, but then we've got that.
What do you like? Like, do you think that this is the shot then? Pardon?
If we rub the guard, Penny, then that's fine.
It's
right?
not the end of the world. I think just here, you
Yeah.
don't want to come to it.
Yeah.
Here.
We just can't line the angle up, that's all.
Yeah, we have to get to face.
But
so
I
To
would,
the face of it.
I'd also
full
rather
12.
leave a little bit open than like burying it, right?
Yeah, yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Full 12.
Okay.
Full 12.
So you heard the discussion, and the reason they don't want to come down to the red is they don't want to leave any kind of way to angle that red onto their shot stone. Merv not close enough to the players to hear everything he had to say, but I do think I heard him say something about it being early in the end, and there's still a pretty good chance to steal. So perhaps the team and Coach Merv Fonger along with them thinking this could be a chance to end this game right here.
Yeah, it sounds like they're all on the same page, and they've probably discussed these options.
2, 3, 2. Looks
Hard,
like
keep
it's running
going.
now.
It's moving.
Hard, hard,
Hard.
hard.
Line's good.
Line's great.
Hard. Keep it
Line's
going.
great.
Over on sheet
Hard,
2,
go,
Sherry
go.
Anderson drew for her 1 point to take an 8-4 lead playing the 10.
a lot farther for
And
Penny.
We didn't get
what
a
I can
chance
see,
to,
we're still going to keep playing.
well, and what we didn't get a chance to review their 8th end either. Steph Lawton had open hit and
Yeah, I
stick
said
for 2
that.
points. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Replay that
But yeah,
one?
she did. Stephanie had a chance to get her 2 points and hit and rolled out.
Well, you can play that now.
Yeah.
The other
I
option
guess
is just
saying I'm
here.
a tiny bit surprised they're playing the 10th end.
I don't mind that.
Okay. Where's my tolerance?
And on
isn't
sheet
any.
1,
Yeah,
well,
that's exactly the line I was waiting for.
Amber's team is deciding. Candace Chisholm's playing a raise on a rock that Chantel Eberly just threw. It's a very, very tight guard. If she nails the raise, it's going to do red onto yellow onto red for
I think probably if
2
you
points.
do,
So a
probably
very,
do
very
chip
nice
off
shot
total.
by
But you can move
Candace
this an
Chisholm.
inch
I
depending
think
on the line.
Ties the game.
Do
yes,
you like this?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Chantel's guard came just a little deep to allow, not that that was a simple shot, but certainly reduced the degree of difficulty on it. So
Well,
that
she needed
game
to make
is
her way
tied.
down.
Yeah.
She wanted to
Little
take a
tiny
look at
bump's
this shot
okay.
before
You
she
want
played it.
bounce big, though. 15 to tee?
Yep. Yes. So with that 2 points, so Candace Chisholm does tie this game, coming home in 10.
Bit of room.
On its own.
Needs to move a lot. Where are you?
7.
Okay, we'll go around. Yep.
Go around. It's curling.
Yep.
Moving now.
Dying. We're not there. 3. Go 3. Yeah. Finish it, Deb. Yeah. It's
frozen. It's frozen. Little tap.
Okay. Okay. That's fine.
I didn't know.
What do you guys like now?
Well, it's at
that
6.
now. To guard the hole, if they get around.
Well, they had some issues with that stone on the way down. And didn't have the weight call.
7 to 3 to 5 to.
Yeah, it
There's
ended
not
up
anything with the
not
reds, I
bad. It's overlapped on the yellow enough that they can't make any kind of play
Guarding the yellow.
on the 2 reds.
I'm just not sure what she has with the reds. I'm assuming
The
nothing.
only thing is if she gets around, I guess we follow, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
She doesn't have anything on the reds, but she's still got the port to get to shot stone.
Whoa. Let it work.
2, 3.
2. Let it work.
2.
Stay close. Whoa, whoa, guys, whoa. Whoa. Got it,
Rain
Danielle.
Schneider looking to throw the guard here.
Danielle, go.
You have to go.
Both of you.
Hard.
Yep. Go. Hard. Hard.
Go.
I don't know if that curled enough to take away the shot at Shot Rock. See if we get a look. There's a better angle, and yes, it does look like, well, there's still a hole there, but the weight you'd have to throw to make the hole.
Remember?
Don't know that you could get the finish you need to get to Shot Rock.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's really a hole. There might be.
Everybody's going to come down and take a look at this, but they have not called a timeout. They've still got 8 minutes left.
Yeah, they have plenty of time.
Well,
It's kind of.
like I said, if you're going to play it, it's on me.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily.
I've got that much.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We can probably still get there. Like, and unfortunately, she just froze it perfectly.
What's
Yes,
that?
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, but actually, nose might not be back too bad. We'll get the 4 off. Just clip that on the way by, even if you stay a little high side.
Yeah, do some rearranging.
Yeah, that's the right call to make sure we, have a good result. Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of wait.
Yeah, because I think it was the 2 ends ago in the 7th end. Laura had the same out turn trying to get through a port, but it was tight and rocks all jammed all the wrong way. But there is an opportunity here to really jiggle this pile all around.
Hey, Laura.
Yeah, change some
You
things.
can see yellow coming in, clipping the red
Probably
as
just nose.
Amber indicated.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll
and
just lose
that's
that.
what I was going to address. Amber says it's just going to clip it. And it's hard to know exactly how thick that's going to hit. Of course, those first 2 so close together, depending on how you hit it, it could drag a little bit.
Just a hair more.
She would hate to jam it solidly on that red and remove it.
Because that's what it looks like from this angle.
Yeah.
It sure does.
Whoa.
Close.
Clean.
Yep.
Makes the hit, brings it back,
Oh, come on.
and kills
Takes
both
out
reds.
all the reds.
Hey,
Laura just can't believe what just happened.
well, that one's not Laura's fault. She threw what was called, and I just don't think they had the angles figured out right on that one.
Do you like that?
I don't mind it.
Because then it leaves you the top.
Play the same thing.
Actually, you know what? That's a hard draw for her.
Okay.
Would have been interesting if
Like if she was
Penny
to play
Barker would have ever called that shot to take 2 reds out.
Yeah, she'd be hitting.
Take one more look at this.
Something.
I was hoping to hit it on the nose. She actually comes just a hair to the center line side, which maybe gives it a little more drag than they would have hoped, but it was pretty solidly onto that red as it was. I just don't know that nose hit was the angle that they were looking for.
It's quick, yeah. It's quick. One, 2.
Whoa.
Your line's fine.
Might over curl. Whoa.
Whoa. You want me to go?
Carry it a little.
Oh, yeah.
We're a 1.
Yep. Hard, yep. Hard. Whoa.
Oh.
Good. That's a great spot.
So Deanna Doig throws the guard in the hole. Now Amber Holland
Think you
looking
played it
at
here.
what she can run back.
Yeah.
Yep. Here we go, Sherry.
9. You like that?
she can make the run back just across the face of that yellow at the top of the 8-foot a little bit. She can roll the raised stone in behind cover. The other possibility, she might be able to make the raised double and still keep it behind a couple of stones.
Yeah.
There's a few ways this could turn out pretty good.
The noise you just heard was a handshake over on sheet 4. Robin Silvernagel's team just ran the Nancy Martin team out of stones. Score over there 6-3, Silvernagel Martin. And the straight peel there by Sherry.
Well, they were looking for the run back. That didn't come up the way they expected. Just peels the guard for now, and if Penny Barker can replace it here with Deanna Doig's last stone,
I'd say wait here's probably close, Deanna. Okay.
it's getting real hard for Amber Holland to even score this, and it's late in the end and no way in.
Close to the same. Stay close. One. Danielle on the end.
Needs to curl.
Hard. I think both carry it. Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
carry
yep,
it,
yep,
Lorraine.
yep,
Hard.
yep.
Real hard.
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 Hard. Keep going.
Hard.
Hard. Hard. Hard.
Hard. Go, go, go.
Hard.
Never stop.
Hard,
Go, go,
hard,
go,
hard,
go,
hard,
go. Good sweep. Here.
Win. And now the handshake over on sheet 2. Sherry Anderson beats Stephanie Lawton 8-4.
There was nothing in play in that end. Sherry was looking at 2, but I mean that's when you're up 4.
She said there were still 3 rocks left to come. She just ran her out of rocks.
Yeah.
She's left a hole
But
here, so
again,
Sherry Singler a chance to come through the port and perhaps make the double.
Bit of a surprise though, being 4 down, playing 8.
Yes.
Or playing the last end.
Yes.
I think a lot of us might have shaken hands.
I think so.
I mean, on one hand, you don't want to quit, but
She makes the port, but jams it on the second stone.
good.
Shooter rolls across and
There's
does hit for
also-
second shot.
every once in a while, reality has to play a part of your decision also. I don't think Sherry Anderson, the way they were playing tonight, was going to give up 4 points.
No.
Yeah, I think so. She still has this then, eh? Or just block the hole for 1.
I think we gotta block that.
She rolled to a not bad spot. You can only see about half of that stone, and that's enough to jam it on the yellow, so I don't think Penny's going to be able to make a play on it. She's going to have to guard the port again.
Yep.
Yeah, once we get the... We just have to cross center this time, eh?
And then Amber Holland will be left with the routine 20-foot
Double
angle
angle
raised.
run. Yeah.
But it would be to sit 2.
Yep.
It's still quick here, Penny.
Tricky thing about a guard like this, she's
nice.
just
It's
trying to
the
fill the
same.
port,
It's
but
nice, it's
the
okay.
2 guards that are creating that port are up a little bit higher, and if you make
It's a tight
contact
port.
with one of
Yep.
those, you could actually make it easier to get through there.
Yeah,
So you've
that's
got to throw
true.
this guard fairly high so you don't risk running into one of the ones you've already got.
Little tight line,
2. Line only.
Line's good.
Whoa. Line only.
Might need to finish, actually.
We're 2-3. Whoa. 2-3.
Yeah,
3
go,
is a
Danielle.
lot of weight when you're trying to
Hard.
fill a port,
Hard.
Whoa.
Yes.
They're going to bump it that way.
and they're playing to
Whoa,
chip
whoa,
in off
whoa.
that stone. They were hanging out a lot.
That works.
Wasn't quite a 3 either. It,
No.
Penny had pretty close weight, got very nice fortunate result.
Yeah, or the other option, well, I guess double peel's just nutting onto that. Okay. Just wondering which way is the easier. If I play that one, and I do, like even if I take that over.
And
'Cause I
doesn't
could
take
just
up
play
my
the
own
double
red
peel,
rock
but
while I'm
just
at
getting
it.
that to there, right? Might get it across the top. That's probably the call.
I like that. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
No, but this it gets us at 1.
So looking to make the double peel here. The stone that's guarding shot rock and the one that was just delivered on the center line. If she can get the 2 of them,
Okay.
at
Double
least she
peel.
should have some kind of shot available
bit
on her
more,
last
maybe.
one. Actually, if you hit it just right, drive the one, just clip that second guard. This one might go straight back. You never know. You might get that rock off the 4-foot here. That might not be the best thing for you, though, if you kill that rock in the 4-foot. Penny Barker might just pick out the one stone you have in the rings, and then how do you score 2? This one's a long ways out. She's not going to get the first guard at all.
Okay.
Comes off the red, moves it a little bit, but
Yeah, moves it closer for the race
there
takeout
might
for
be
2.
a port there.
Well,
I wouldn't want to have to throw it.
guarding the port and the red, and Amber's not going to really have much of a shot.
Okay, yep.
Well, and then just looking back to like the one shot that the Holland team had never considered was even running their own red one in.
I'm assuming they were
on
saving
their
that
first
for
one.
I
the
don't
last.
think she wanted to have to play that on her first one. You play that for 2, if it's all you've got left.
Similar line to mine.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yours took a while to come over.
Okay.
We need to sit in the hole at the same time as block half of that.
Okay. Okay.
So
yeah, right
higher
on
the
that.
better.
Right on the V again.
Make a touch more. Yeah.
So Penny Barker with her final stone here in end number 9, looking to take away the easiest shot Amber Holland has left, the 15-foot run back.
Definitely lost weight.
Detect a bit of
Looks like
sarcasm.
a lot. A 2. We're 2 deep.
Well, it is the easiest shot she's got left.
Needs to curl. We're a little further than a 2.
This one's hanging out as well.
Yep.
This is where you hope you don't line them up.
Or make a bigger port.
But are they playing?
Well, they were trying to redirect, but they don't want to go too far after they redirect.
And it works out perfectly.
Well, is there a hole?
Well, if there's a port there, the shot can be made.
Yeah.
Is there a hole there, girls?
I don't know if there is.
It's close. Not very big.
Well, it's either the hole or the skinny, I think, is our only option. So,
What kind of weight do you want to throw through the...
well, you got to throw a little bit of firmness, yeah.
Do you stick around, though?
Well, of course.
And if not, just
If you
play
finish, you
yeah,
do.
it might be better because probably to navigate the hole, I got to throw 9.
You don't think you're sticking that?
No.
I think if you hit the hole, you're...
Well, but the problem is to navigate the hole, I'm going straight through, right? I can't throw.
What turn are you thinking if you do the hole?
Well, let's make a call. Our time's going here.
You
I don't know,
could
what do you
call
think?
timeout as well.
Yeah, they have
They still have 2 left.
2 left.
I don't think you can stick this.
Well, if you're hitting the hole, I don't... You're hitting half of it.
I'm not sure she
a
has
little
to
bit
throw
more.
9 with that hole. Those 2 rocks are pretty much equal,
You know
so you can
It
hit
doesn't
whatever
matter.
weight you hit the port
Maybe
with.
9.5.
It's not like a staggered port where you
That's
have
right.
to get
Might be
through.
able to.
Yeah, it's close.
No, it's true. You could.
Well, they're fun to watch.
There.
Yeah. Thanks. Doing it for the crowd.
A little bit more, I think.
There you see Coach Travis with his binoculars. He's trying to figure out if there's a hole too.
9?
No.
I don't think Amber liked that throw.
Close, yep,
Called them off right away.
No.
Yep, yes! No! Whoa! Whoa! Get up, get up!
But she just feather ticks the yellow on the way by, and it's enough to go through. It will be a steal of 1 for Penny Barker. She's going to have a 7-4 lead, but Amber Holland will still have last rock coming home.
Yeah, good try.
White Ice, the ice paint people, set out to develop a very specific ice paint product that would satisfy the needs of the professional ice maker in both hockey and curling. White Ice was successfully formulated and tested, and distribution began in 1988 and has since expanded their line of products and services to meet the needs of today's professional ice makers. White Ice is distributed by Eastside Paint and Wallpaper in Saskatoon, who is also a signature Benjamin Moore paint dealer. White Ice and Eastside Paint and Wallpaper, defining the game.
Introducing the all-new heated cab for the John Deere 1R tractor. Simply captivating.
Welcome back, everyone.
Well, Chantal Eberly just had a nose hit to win the game, and it was right on the center line, top 8 foot. She kind of floated a little bit. She did hit it, but she rolled out by about 1/4 of an inch. So we are going to an extra end on our game here that means an awful lot for who could be tied for first place at the end of this.
Over on sheet 2, Sherry Anderson defeating Stephanie Lawton 8-4, moves the Anderson team to 3-3 and the Lawton team to 3-4.
And keeping the other team game company out here, we have Amber Holland and Penny Barker coming home. Amber needs a score of 3 to try to get to the extra end here. Very doable, but...
We take one more look at how that happened in the last end. Amber Holland needing to negotiate a port, might have had a chance for 2. They were waiting on this to curl, needed to come up just a hair more. They were wondering if there was a port coming through, but you could see how much room she had between the other rocks, so there definitely was the port there. Just needed to come a 1/4 of an inch more. She makes the port.
Yeah, that was certainly a good try. Over on sheet 4, we have final score Martin 3, Silvernagel 6, and that puts Silvernagel ahead with a 5-1 record, moves Martin to 2-5.
And we do know Nancy Martin is tuning in on the broadcast. I just had a nice text from Nancy laughing at me for calling Taryn Martin. Nancy also relaying the fact that Caitlin Schneider and Nancy Martin waiting to hear if in tiebreaker or straight to the playoffs. Last draw of the other pool on right now. So
awesome.
A really good start there for Nancy and Caitlin.
And of course, I'm sure they know we're all behind them cheering hard.
Well, the first stone here of this 10th end was brought in the top of the 8 foot and the corner guard. Now we have the throw through from Danielle Sasinski, and we're going to see Debbie Lasinski throw the second corner.
Okay.
For Amber Holland, yes, it is 3 points, but 3 points can be done. There is kind of a template for it. She's looking for the 2 corners.
Yep.
There are some teams that will throw both through when they are up the 3, but I think it's fairly standard where most teams will call for that rock to be the top 4 just to keep that pressure on from getting rocks in behind the corners guards that are going to count. So
yeah, that's right.
Get that first one in the top 4.
Didn't hear it, but that must have picked because that was 20 feet short of the hog line.
Yeah. Just it's one of those things, if you don't have bad luck, you have no luck at all.
And that makes the 3 a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
So Lorraine Schneider will look to peel the remaining guard.
Hard, yes! Okay.
Well, she noses it.
Okay.
So you're in the same situation here, other than that one rock being a different color.
Yeah, it doesn't change much.
Of course, had you made the last corner guard, you'd now have the 2 corner guards you needed to try to steal 3.
Except for
or to
that.
try to get 3.
Even it up. Looks pretty good.
Looks pretty nice. We're a little deeper.
Good.
Sorry, Emma.
That's okay. All right, you got it.
So Lorraine Schneider now will look to peel the corner guard that was just placed.
Oh, clean. D. No, just clean.
Other D, I mean.
Just clean.
That's good.
It's a trouble when there's 2 Ds.
Well, I would think Danielle's probably not supposed to go by D. D is short for Deanna, but maybe they just do it that way. It's the trouble when there's 2 Ds and when you're a team that does aggressively try to use that directional sweeping.
Yeah.
Hey, easy though.
Weight's all there still. It's probably the same place.
Should be over a bit. That's fine. Good. That's good. Nice.
Good placement on that guard. Now Deanna Doig in the hacks to try to remove it. Makes the hit. Penny Barker will help with the brush, and they get that shooter all the way to the divider on the other side.
Good sweep. Okay.
Sherry Singler now on the hacks to throw her first
Yeah,
one.
this
And
one's nice.
they're looking for a tight guard.
Yep.
This has to be, if you're going to play this shot, it's got to be tight enough to split later as well.
Looks okay. It wasn't over.
It's close.
Line's good. Bit
Or,
around.
you know, even if it just barely bites the top of the 12, you can still sink
Yeah.
another one in
Well,
behind it and keep that pressure on.
Typically, if you're trying to score 3, you have to come in on the third's first stone, but
Just come.
a rock that's tight enough to split works the same.
Yes, yes, line. Hard. Yep. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Keep going, Deb. Go.
Go, 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 go. That's good.
Pretty much right where she tapped the ice.
Yep.
Fortunately, it's probably open enough that you can still make a play on it.
Yep. Same weight. Up. Hard. 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 Yes. Hard. Yes. Hard. Yes. Hard.
Oh, good sweeping.
Yep, 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 yep.
Makes the hit, rolls the shooter across.
Guess we're down to 3 rocks. 3 red.
Yeah, and
Now
Amber
we're-
looking for the come around here.
Yeah.
I kind of like the corner freeze on the rock that was just thrown.
Yeah, because it's going to take a couple to move it.
That's just it. And well, and you
Yeah.
could, on the first attempt, you might end up moving it right over to frozen on the other
You
one.
extend it, hey?
You bury this, they peel the guard. No matter what you do with the next stone, she's going to have an open hit to run you out of rocks.
Line's good.
Weight's good.
Line's pretty good.
Yeah, not quite to your
Right
broom.
tee.
Gotta go.
Yep.
Gotta go.
Really moving. Yep. Hard.
Just leave it high or what?
Well, yeah, that's fine.
It's about
It's buried, it's fine where it is. You didn't
It's completely buried.
need to be back. She's going to peel the guard anyway, and no matter where you put the next one, she's going to play the open hit.
You bet.
I like the straight PLA.
Yep.
You got it.
And that's why I think maybe Amber Holland, if she'd had a little bit more time to think about it, maybe would have played you play the corner freeze on that second shot stone in the 12-foot, and when they try to blast it out, there's a couple of things that can happen that are good for you. She might end up putting on the other yellow, or maybe it comes all the way across and ends up under the corner guard.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
To try to score 3, you were going to need a bit of a mistake anyway, and
Yeah.
you're now asking for a mistake on
Twice.
fairly routine shots.
Clean. Clean. Good girl.
She peels the guard.
There.
Nowhere left to hide.
That's fine. We have 2 left, right?
Yeah.
She did call the time.
sorry.
Oh no, pardon me, she did not. Thought she was calling the timeout to get down there. Now,
Just draw around theirs is pretty much all we got.
Okay.
Unless you guys see something else that you can miracleize here.
I don't understand
I don't
why you're
think it
drawing
really
here.
matters.
Well, don't you have to hit?
Alright.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if
And
she
hope-
doesn't,
hope for a flash.
you have to hope for the flash.
Yeah.
But why are you drawing here?
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you're gonna have to play some kind of
Miracle
thin double
shot
with
is-
your last
if you
one.
get the miss. Yeah.
Decent. On its own, maybe?
Line's good.
It's nice.
Gotta be back 8.
Just back 8.
Back
Line's
here,
pretty
not
good.
pulling yet.
Line's good.
Looks nice.
Yeah, they're worried about burying
Line's
this rock, and
fine.
it's not going to matter.
Yeah. I would think that Penny's going to play the open hit no matter where this goes.
Well, and then if you do get, as you said, if you get the
And
miss
if you get
that you
the
need,
flash, then what?
now you
Well,
have to
I
play
guess
a
you
double.
play the double, but
Shot, Amber.
Good. Yeah. Nice. Okay.
Don't get that yet.
The only thing I can think of it, that would make any sense because she's looking at the scoreboard, but if she's thinking that she only needs 2, you know, that's a different story.
Straight up. Nice throw here.
Penny Barker made the peel on the guard on her first one with this exact same ice. Pretty much the same shot here, just needs to remove the rock from the 12-foot, and Amber Holland will be out of rocks.
Little less, sweet. Clean, yep. Yep. Clean, clean. Yep.
The call of clean goes out. The brushers will stay on it.
Good job, Pat.
Makes the hit. Amber Holland is out of stones. Penny Barker will be a 7-4 victor over Amber Holland, and
that does move the Barker team to 4-2.
Keeps them in the right in the thick of the playoff hunt.
Sure does, and it puts Holland to 1-5, and I think we can safely say they are probably eliminated.
I don't believe mathematically there's any way for 5 losses to make the playoffs.
A tiebreaker.
Just leaves the 1 game left to be decided. The extra end game on sheet 1.
It's getting a little bit messy here. Haley Jameson drew the button on her very first one. And then a series of guards. Christy Johnson, lead for Candace Chisholm, just did the absolute classic #1 guard. Haley Jameson attempted to do the tick on it, and it just barely touched the boards. So at one point, there were actually 3 centerline guards on the guarding the button shot. Then Lana Vey has drawn in. A couple of double peels have opened things up, but one of the guards did get kicked into the side 4-foot there, so that's why there are 2 yellows in the rings. The red corner guard, Christy Gamble, just trying to do the straight peel on her last one, but didn't quite roll her shooter.
So we're down to just the skip stones left to play, and the Chisholm team has called a timeout. I think what they're talking about is at some point in time, you're going to have to play the yellow-red combination, and it's a question of how hard do you hit it? Do you want to remove that stone? Do you move it to just full back 4? You have to make sure you shot rock. Well, you do if you played on your last one. You could play it here.
And the unfortunate part with that red peel attempt, it's covered off any in-off that you might have off that side 4-foot. That was always kind of a backup shot, just in case you needed something. So
yeah, I don't know if you have. I don't think that yellow stone's buried. Yeah, yeah, exactly. She won't be able to play the out turn for sure, but there might be an in turn in off.
And
looks like they're playing with that broom, they're playing it with just enough weight to tap it back,
which is a good call.
You want to keep everything in line here. Yellow, yellow, red. Keep them lined up so that Chantel Eberle, if she tries to blast it, is going to jam this. Keep it on the button somewhere, and then you might try to guard.
But Sean, you would have liked the guard set up here for the Chisholm team at the first. You know, we've talked about how hard it is to get that those guards separated. Well, that was textbook there.
And that just shows, even with that textbook setup of the guards, how hard it is to hold a steal.
So Candace Chisholm's team had started this competition with 2 losses, but as we noted today in their afternoon game, they have really been kicking it into high gear. Chantel Eberle has the 1 loss, but whoever wins this game, if this loss drops Chantel to the 2 losses, Candace would still have the advantage with this victory.
Needs to curl just a little bit more. This is close. Might have a little more weight than what they had intended. Taps it to the back 8-foot, but it does leave Candace sitting 3. First indication from Chantel and Christy. Play the double. Stone that's shot rock in the 4-foot, and they bring the shooter across and kick the one out of the side of the 4-foot.
That's right, because even if you do get to the nose, you're not going to be shot rock on this one, I don't believe. Well, if Chantel doesn't pull this one off, she's going to have a very sleepless evening trying to shake off that hit and roll out there in the 10th. But again, as we talked earlier today, resiliency is a huge part of this game, and how quickly you have to shake off an outcome like that and get ready for an 11th end.
And you know what? If they win this game, she'll forget about it.
Well.
Well, you file that under we lived and learned with it, but they're calling the sweep, so they think they're close.
Looking to make the double. Hits, comes across, does remove the second from the 4-foot area. It stays in play, but it's fourth shot. That won't factor in. Now for Candace Chisholm, she's going to have to make a play on that stone. The question is, what do you want to play here? Looks like she's looking at the full hit.
Yeah. And you know, nose hit.
Sit two there.
A nose hit, and Chantel probably has to play the double for the win.
Which Chantel likes.
So Candace Chisholm just returning to curling again. She's been away from the game for a little bit, but reunited with some old friends. Natalie Bloomfield, Christy Johnson, they've had many, many years of curling together here, and Leona Vey just seems to fit in so well with any team that she's on.
Sorry, Susan, we're not right in behind the sheet. I can't tell. Do you think she can get enough of the nose to maybe clip that back one on the way by? Because then Chantel's got no savers. It's not going to come up enough for that. She's going to make the hit, roll a couple of inches to the center. Oh, that's a great spot to roll to.
Actually, that makes that double really hard.
It's a tough double.
Yeah.
You've got to hit them both at almost the same time. If you hit one thicker than the others, you may not kill the second. And really, there's no drop path, so she's going to have to play the double.
Yeah, that's not easy.
Well, the one thing that we know she's got going for her, Chantel can throw the big weight here. You're not worried about keeping your shooter. It can spin out the front.
No, because you're counting the back one.
And she throws the weight with rotation too, so that always gives your rocks a little bit extra pop when you're hitting those stationary stones.
Got the call made. They did call the timeout, but just so that they have plenty of time to set up for this.
Yes, it is. So this would be to remain in first place, tied with Robin Silvernagel.
It's quiet in here.
Very knowledgeable crowd. Everything is quiet, and even some of the other curlers have stayed back to watch this. And they called the brush on right away. She's got to hit him close to the same time. She's too thick on the first one. She might roll across the top of the second. Gets enough of it to push it far enough back that she gets shot rock at the back, and Chantel Eberle will pick up the win here in the extra end. And that concludes draw number 7. We want to thank everybody for joining us. We'll be back for draw 8 tomorrow afternoon on the website, and on SaskTel Max, you can join us for the final round robin draw tomorrow night.